close to that reach in this region. So if you know of a local business that loves to support the scholar athletes in their town or their surrounding area and would benefit from the exposure we would bring, please send them our way. Just call or text 973-713-5944 or email george@morrissussexsports.com.
Starting us off at number 5, here's Mendham's Liam Lloyd with the snipe past Morristown goalie Dylan Peck for his 10th goal of the year.
Daniel Leonard with great defense to steal the puck back, moving behind the goal to pass it back into the middle to Ryan Leonard with a first-time shot to make it 3-1 for Bernard's first Whippany.
Coming in at number 3 is Par Regional's Dylan Zelinskis on a great individual effort, creating a breakaway opportunity for the goal as Par Regional breaks through for their first win of the season.
Morristown with the pressure on all of the Mendham players to give Harry Stetton an incredible breakaway to fake out the goalie, letting them know who the boss is to score the 4th goal for Morristown.
Finally at number 1, it's Pope John star Alana Robinson with the crossover against Sparta's Bryn McCurry and finishes with a smooth jumper. Let's take a look at that again, but in slow motion. Top 5 plays of the week feature top plays and athletes, as well as upcoming previews of the teams you want to watch out for that weekend. Check us out on Thursdays at 6 p.m. right here on Morris Sussex Sports.
Blue Nail Roofing and Siding. Come home to craftsmanship. If you're even considering roofing, solar, siding, windows, doors, gutters, Blue Nail Roofing and Siding is a local family business with the best customer reviews in this part of America that you can truly trust. When the team at Blue Nail Roofing and Siding does a job, it will be done right. Count on it. Start the conversation now about your next project. Visit BlueNailNJ.com for a complimentary consultation. Blue Nail Roofing and Siding. Come home to craftsmanship.
At Planet Networks, our high-speed fiber is designed to be fast. Up to 300 times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
If you're not getting the most comfort out of your system, check this out. Like the rest of your neighbors, you want your home to be as comfortable and inviting as possible. It's no surprise with the winter storms around here. The demand for system repairs are way up, which means waiting around for a while for a technician to show up and having to be stuck feeling uncomfortable for a long time. Which is why at ICS, we make sure to service your home quickly and efficiently so you can get back to feeling warm and comfortable again. So if you don't want to spend your winter freezing your butt off, visit our website, icshvac.com.
I enjoy helping nonprofits achieve their goals and really accomplish their mission, namely by nurturing my relationship with them, their staff, their donors, their volunteers, and their board members. I think the key to being trusted is really transparency. What I've seen time and time again is that when you give anything the right conditions, the support, the autonomy, trust, your full attention, it will thrive. This is as true for my clients and for my colleagues as it is for myself here at WIS.
Rich Latman, realtor with Keeneland Latman, Sotheby's International Realty, enjoys helping clients through the process of selling their home and finding their dream home. Whether you need more space, are a first-time home buyer, or ready to downsize, Rich can help. Rich is a National Association of Realtors Circle of Excellence Award winner and one of the top producers in his area. With Rich, you can always expect expert analysis, excellent service, and exceptional results. For all real estate in Morris and Somerset counties, contact Rich Latman at 908-839-8487 or by email at rlatman@klsir.com.
Behind the goal, we reset, and TJ Santata has it for the Vikings. Santata brings it right past two defenders. Look at the speed in the open ice. Santata, great stick handling, great shot.
Here's Carlotti from the end zone. It is caught. Charge. Good for the pass. Here's a shot right in front. Score!
And that is a base hit. The run will score. And
freshman Polachek gets the strike. Anthony Grosso is going to make sure that the Wolfpack fans go home happy.
Olsen, Grosso for three. He got it! Ah!
Par Hills and Warren Hills. To Par Hills and Warren Hills. Once again, the Hills are alive. Par Hills at 2-3, a heartbreaker last week to Chatham, 14-13. They lost on a blocked extra point after Julio Tatis ran in for the touchdown. That was the difference, guys. That was the difference in this one, in a closely contested game all night long. After starting 1-2, the Vikes have lost back-to-back games. Kind of surprising to me considering the start that they had right out of the gate this season. But they're definitely capable of bouncing back. They have talent in front of a veteran coaching staff to make a run. But it has to start now against a Warren Hills Blue Streak team. Don't look now, folks, but the Streaks have won 2 of their last 3 with that 42-7 win against Morris Hills last week. Luke Dugan only needed to throw 8 passes. What did he do? Went 8 for 8 for 99 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Aziz carried the Streaks to a win, 111 yards and 1 touchdown on the ground. Totally, they rushed for 190 yards and 3 touchdowns as a team. The Streaks are really finding their way in their first season, really playing a more Sussex-heavy schedule. These are 2 teams, same record, 2 elite rushing attacks, very similar in style, making for a good one. What can we expect from the Vikes and the Streaks, Tyler?
Now that we're looking at these games really in depth, I think this is going to be one of the hardest times we've had picking games in recent memory. This one's going to be close, shockingly close, like last-minute game-winning drive close. Par Hills, you got to lean back on Tatis again. Now, this kid's just amazing. The speed he has, the vision for the field. You put the ball in this kid's hands, and he's going to get something off for you. They came really close to knocking off Chatham last week. Chatham's one of the best teams in the area. Now, Warren Hills, missing Jaden Aziz against Roxbury, we really saw how much of an impact that is with the rebound they had against Warren Hills against Morris Hills last week. Both these teams, as you said, led through the rush. Whichever team can rush more and contain more on the other side, it's really going to be the game. I do think that Warren Hills has the advantage QB-wise with Dugan there, but Julio Tatis is a weapon, man.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Danny?
Yeah, when Tatis is slowed down, it seems like that's where the 3 losses have come. So the line needs to protect him. The line needs to make the holes for him. That running game is very critical. I'm a big fan of Dave Albano. I think he's a great coach. He knows how to motivate these players. Ceremonies a great quarterback. To me, he's one of the best. Most underrated for a team that's 2-3. On the Warren Hills side, they beat Mandum. They lost to Roxbury. They have a tough schedule. But I'll tell you this: we know from the Mandum game, which I broadcasted, that they can pass, they could throw, and they could catch, and they could do everything to pull this game out.
Definitely should be an interesting one.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to more of Sussex Sports production as the Warren Hills Sparks come into Vikings territory trying to sink their warship here at Parsippany Troy Hills. Hello, everyone. My name is Lloyd Wilson, and I'll be your captain for tonight's broadcast along with my crew, Jack Alvarez, our producer, and our camera girl, Aaron McAnkeny, on the controls for you outside. Both of these 2 teams come into this game 2-3 and looking to get back to 500. Par Hills coming off of a 1-point loss, unfortunately, to Chatham due to a mixed extra point, as well as a missed field goal in the final seconds, losing that one 14-13. And for the Warren Hills Sparks, they're coming off of a dominant win against Morris Hills, winning that one 42-7. We're going to get ready for kickoff in just a few moments on this beautiful 67 degrees night here in Parsippany, New Jersey. Some quick guys to just look out for before we get this game kicked off at 7 p.m. Quarterback for the Parsippany Troy Hills Vikings, Jake Simone, coming off of a great game, 15 for 29, had 190 yards, did have an interception, but also threw a touchdown against Chatham. And his counterpart on the other side for the Warren Hills Sparks, Luke Dugan, having a perfect game. And I don't mean that by any less than what I say perfect. 8 for 8 when he had the ball in his hands. 99 yards, only 1 yard away for a buck for the day. Didn't throw a touchdown, but he still had a phenomenal game, winning that one 42-7. He's coming in this one with 563 yards passing, throwing 59% on the season so far, only using his arm when they have to, but his team is one game below 500, trying to do it in hostile territory. But we'll take a short break. When we come back, we kick this game off for senior night here in Parsippany Troy Hills.
I was born fast. Parisi made me faster.
I thought I could jump. Parisi brought me to new heights.
I wasn't always quick. Parisi made me lightning fast.
Strength was never my strength. Parisi changed all that.
Stop by Anthony Franco's of Sparta and Roxbury after the game, where we believe that quality and satisfaction go hand in hand. We take great care to offer authentic New York-style pizza, as well as many classic and modern Italian dishes, without compromising on cost or relying on ingredients that are frozen or preserved. Our ingredients come from Wisconsin's finest dairies. We order pasta made weekly at one of Brooklyn's oldest pasta houses, and coordinate daily deliveries of the best fresh meat and produce from the Hunts Point Market in the Bronx.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com.
Choosing a college is a big deal. But I know I started right, because CCM's in the top 2% of community colleges in the nation. And at County College of Morris, I get to choose from over 100 programs. Whether you're just out of high school, like me, exploring career options, like me, or seeking lifelong learning, like me, make CCM your choice, like me. Go big and visit ccm.edu and aspire to be you.
And as we're getting ready, you can see the Vikings lining up to get their senior night kicked off. And when speaking about this offensive line, all of them are seniors except only one, Christian Embrano, pardon me. He's the only junior on this offensive line. So all four of the starters have been together. As getting ready for their senior night, they come out here and charge the midfield with that Vikings flag running high. Head coach, Coach Albano, coming out as well. He talked about, we had a conversation with him just a few days ago. He talked about how young this team is. He talked about a lot of guys had to step up because of their key guys missing, as well as taking some time off alongside with some injury. He talked to me, he said that he's missing 3 of his interior linebackers, so a lot of guys have had to step up, one of them being Joseph Lamio, Tyler Hallenberg, Kevin Moss, who he speaked about, who really had to fight for that starting position, and he has done well so far. Coming in this one on the season, 1 tackle for loss, 33 tackles, as well as 1 forced fumble on the season. But it's going to be up to their quarterback, Jake Simoni, who was a first-year starter, coming in this one so far with over 1,000 yards passing, 1,088 yards in the season, completing 58% of his passes, 8 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions on the season. But he is also a dual-threat quarterback. Can run it. He only hasn't done it that much. He has taken 13 carries, 10 rushing yards. His longest run of the season went for 24, and it was against Chatham. So we're getting ready for kickoff, but both of these two teams will have the coin toss. And the next time you hear my voice, it'll be time for kickoff. We'll be right back here on Morris Sussex Sports.
And their board members. I think the key to being trusted is really transparency. What I've seen time and time again is that when you give anything the right conditions, the support, the autonomy, trust, your full attention, it will thrive. This is as true for my clients and for my colleagues as it is for myself here at Bliss.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
Thank you, Viking Marching Band, for that outstanding performance. Our cheerleaders are out in full force this evening.
And it is time for kickoff here on Morris Sussex Sports. Once again, Warren Hills visiting the Parsippany Troy Hills Vikings. Both of these two teams coming in 2-3. And as we get ready for kickoff, both of these two teams in the SFC Liberty Blue division. Right now, winning the division is Montville, standing undefeated at 5-0. And as we're getting ready for kickoff, Warren Hills will take this one all the way back at the 10-yard line. As trying to get a license plate on the farthest man to the 10. From this point of view, looks like Mo Warren, who they use a lot in their offensive game when going over the top, this one's going to roll all the way to the end zone for a touchback. So the night will start. At the 20-yard line, this starting offense for the Warren Hills Sparks. Luke Dugan, who spoke about just a few moments ago, coming in this one off of a good game, perfect game, 8 for 8 through the air, threw 99 yards against Morris Hills on the season, has 563 passing yards, throwing 59% of completion. And to the outside, that was Mo Warren, someone who head coach Marcus Gerdiner said he likes to use on going over the top. Right now, Dugan in that pistol set motion going across. They hand it off, going up the A gap, and that front four for Par Hills only makes it a 2-yard gain for that front four for the Par Hill Vikings. Mike Adams, Jacob Bland, Giovanni Collins also down there. Right now, Warren Hills in that two-wing set. Getting the signals from his head coach and Gerdiner. Behind Dugan is the running back and Jaden Aziz, who they love to use. Motion comes across, but looks like Dugan's going to take it himself. Goes up the left side and is going to dive almost close to a first down. Looks like he got 6 on that gain. But it's maybe going to come up as a 3rd and short. So they're going to say it was 3rd and short, and it's going to be a 3rd and 3 to have the chains move. Still on the Warren side. In the shotgun is Dugan. He takes it. He's going to take it once again, going to that left side, getting a few blocks. And it looks like he's going to dive for the first down. He's going to get the yardage. Coming into this game, he has 220 rushing yards, so he's definitely a dual quarterback. The longest run of the season was 29 yards and has 2 rushing touchdowns as well. So he was able to get the first down, and now it's on the 27-yard line on the side of Warren Hills, coming out to the wide receiver slot. Looks to be Mekai Barrett going in motion. Handoff. They're able to get it. Hobbles over a defender. And it will be a short yard gain. Right now, 2nd and 9 on the 31-yard line, coming all the way out. And now a DB comes out for the Par Hill Vikings. They're going to take this. It's going to be a handoff to the left side. He's going to run through his few blockers, but we have a flag on the play. That left side seems to be working for the Sparks so far. Again, Sparks coming in this one 2-3. And running the football is something that head coach Mark Gerdiner loves to do. It's going to be rather against the Streaks. So it's going to be against the streets, going to move them back. It's going to be a holding call, so now it makes it 2nd and 16. Trip set, handoff, and it looks like it was blown up all the way in the backfield as Par Hills reads the play. And making the tackle was Connor Johnson, pardon me. So far on the season, has 6 sacks, 5 tackles for loss. Just got his 6, and now makes it a very long, 3rd and 18 on the 20-yard line where this drive started. So thrown out to the outside, caught by the Sparks, and it looks like he's going to be short of the first down. But a great effort and great catch by TJ Kachaga, coming in this one with 18 catches, 150 yards, as well as 2 TDs. Just got his 19th catch, and it was short of the first down, but it's going to make this a fourth down and medium, 4th and 6, but not going to go for it early in the game, so they're going to elect to punt this one away on the 35-yard line. Motion coming across for a possible fake, but this one's going to be punted away, and Par Hills calls poison. Back there trying to receive it and probably make something happen was Joey Cicatelli. Definitely one of their bright spots on this Viking squad. And wow, we have a brief moment. If you enjoyed this broadcast and want your game broadcast with a professional telecast like this, reach out to George at MorrisSussexSports.com and we'll get your next game, sport, and any sport you want on the air. And even though we are called Morris Sussex Sports, we're always happy to come to your county to broadcast the next game. And here now are the Par Hill Vikings starting out this game in the shotgun set. Jake Simone with it, with trips right and double receivers to his right. He's going to throw this one to the wing, but dangerously in the air, almost intercepted by Warren Hills, as this one was a little bit too high for his receiver. That time on the coverage, it was Justin Daniel, who, if he read it right, he could have possibly had a pick 6. But luckily for Simone, he was able to have this one a little bit too high for his receiver. He's going to start out again in the shotgun. He's going to have a tight end to his right and a running back behind him. 2nd and 10, takes the snap, hands off to Z's, and he's going to churn away and churn up field for about 6. So it's rather going to be 5 yards, so it's going to make it a 3rd and manageable, 3rd and 5. Rather Tatis, not Aziz. Tatis, one of those all-star running backs for this squad, coming in this one, 470 yards on the season, has 91 carries, and is in the double digits for touchdowns, has 10. Simone in the shotgun set, 2 receivers to his left and to his right. Pistol formation, calling out the plays, getting it from his head coach and Dave Albano. Clock ticking with 7:45 left to go in this first. He's going to take the snap, but a flag will be on the play. Will more likely be false start, but we'll wait for the officials to see. As we're going to say, it was a delay of game on Par Hill, so now this is going to make this a 3rd and long, 3rd and 10 on their own 33-yard line. So head coach Dave Albano did talk about how a lot of these guys have to step up, Jake Simone being one of them. He said this is his first year as a starter, and as time goes along, he's going to learn how to look at that play clock and have it in his head. He's still in the pistols formation, receivers to his left and right, drops back, looks downfield, not able to get it there, and he's going to be sacked by Warren Hills.
Back at the 15-yard line.
Making the sack for Warren Hills. Haynes with the sack for Warren Hills. So now it's going to put Par Hills in a punting situation. Punting for the Par Hill Vikings is Joshua Griffith, who last week had 2 rough moments, had an opportunity to tie the game after they lost that one 14-13 on an extra point, but also had a chance to win the game in the final seconds, as this one's going to be a short punt for about 15 yards after being recovered by Julio Tatis. And it's going to stay on the Viking side at their own 15. Check that. It looks to be on their 15-yard line. No, it'll be, referee is going to set this at their 42-yard line. So now brings out the Sparks offense. Warren Hills able to get a first down on their first time having the ball. Here they are now. Wing set to the right of Dugan. Going in motion, going from left to right. They love that left side. Handoff. They're going to take this one. Has a man go on his feet, but he's going to take this one all the way up the sideline, more than the first down, and is going to be dragged out of bounds by the Vikings, but not before the first down. That time, great running, and having the man fall right in front of him was Jaden Aziz. Aziz leads this team in rushing, 439 yards total, just got more there. $27-yard gain on the carry. Receivers to his left for Dugan, with Aziz to his left as well, with the tight end set, the tight end wing to his right in the shotgun formation. On the 16, takes the snap, handoff to Aziz going to the right side, and being tackled from behind. Being tackled from behind again was Connor Jonathan. In the last game against Chatham, he had 3 tackles as well as a forced fumble. Again, mentioning that game, they lost that one 14-13 in just the final seconds due to a missed field goal. Motion once again going from right to left, chops his feet, hand off to Aziz. He's going to bounce this one to the outside. Flag on the play, but going all the way and diving for the end zone. He's going to call a touchdown, but not before the flag is thrown, and it more likely will be coming back. It will be on Warren Hills. Penalty against Warren Hills. They're going to call it for a holding. Still great awareness that time by Jaden Aziz to see that the gaps were plugged and bounce that one to the outside. Some coaches love to see you just go between the gaps to get the yardage, but if you have daylight on the outside, why not take it? Aziz also a dual threat, can catch as well as run it. Coming into the game for Warren Hills is TJ Kachala. Comes in as a substitution. Heavy set to the left. Now even set in the shotgun. Stugan has motion coming across right to left. They're going to use that left side. Dugan's going to take it himself. Going in between the C gap, and Par Hills reads it as 3. Par Hill Vikings wrap them up with no yardage gained. Giovanni Collins that time on the tackle. Along with him was Giovanni Nigro. And now makes this a 3rd and long, 3rd and 17 on the Par Hills 23. In the shotgun is Dugan, has a receiver coming from his left to his right. TJ Kachala trying to use that wheel route. He's going to go to the outside. Dugan doesn't have anyone to throw. He's going to throw this one across the field and right into the defense and going up for it, and it's a score! Warren Hills strikes first and trying to get a license plate all the way on the far side. 25-yard touchdown passes. We'll try to see the replay here for a brief moment. going across his body, jumping up in the air. Acrobatic catch that time by Warren Hills. And with the extra point being good, it now makes it a 7-0 ball game here in Vikings territory. We'll see if the Vikings can strike back. We'll be right back here on Morris Sussex Sports.
Choosing a college is a big, big, big deal. But I know I started right because CCM is in the top 2% of community colleges in the nation. And at County College of Morris, I get to choose over 100 programs. Whether you're just out of high school, like me, exploring career options,
Like me.
or seeking lifelong learning,
Like me.
make CCM your choice, like me. Go big and visit ccm.edu and aspire to be you.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey.
Back here in Par Hills, New Jersey, the return by the Vikings. Taking all the way back was Joey Cicatelli. And it will be where the referees place it to be at the 35-yard line. And they are going to put it at 35. So, Warren Hills strikes first in foreign territory after a great acrobatic catch, but maybe a dangerous throw by Luke Dugan, throwing it across his body, across into the defense. But it works out in his favor, and they now have the lead, 7-0. On the other side, Simone drops back, fires to a receiver for a 6-yard gain. Finds his receiver, and Mason Jobst makes his 9th catch of the season. Had 2 catches for 26 yards against Chatham in the last game. Now makes this a 2nd and 5. So we'll see how the Vikings try to strike back first. Trips to the left in pistol formation once again. Simone is going to have this one tossed to the left. Great bouncing, but not enough to get them in positive yardage, and that time is going to be for a loss, and Julio Tatis didn't have anywhere to go. So now, with a 2-yard loss, it now makes it a 3rd and 7 on the 40-yard line. 3:13 and counting left to go in this first quarter here for senior night for these Vikings. Receivers to the left and the right. One in the slide and one on the outside each. Tatis to his right. Simone takes a snap, drops back, fires across the middle, diving for the catch, and caught. But we'll see if the referees are going to call him down after it was a great catch by Mason Jobst. They're going to rule this one incomplete, but if we look at this replay, I thought they would call him down, diving for the catch. I mean, once you're down, I thought you would be down as he rolled for the football, but when he had the ball pointed up to the sky, it gave the defenders enough time to just tip it out of his hands. So now it's going to be 4th and 7 as Par Hills is going to have to punt this one away. It was only a 15-yard punt last time for Joshua Griffith. Waiting for it in the backfield for Warren Hills is TJ Kachala. This one a high snap, still gets a good punt. Kind of short, only goes about 15 yards once again, and is going to bounce out around the 46-yard line. We'll see where the referees spot it. But I thought on that last catch, Mason Jobst would have been called down, but the referees say something else. 2:40 left to go in this first quarter. They're going to nail it at the 46-yard line. And Warren Hills has the lead after an acrobatic catch. We'll try to get a license plate for you on who the player was after this quarter. But it was definitely acrobatic catch and a dangerous throw. But Dugan made it work. Here he is going for his third time of work in that pistol formation, and to his right is Jaden Aziz coming in motion. He used that right side, handoff, makes two defenders miss, and able to get some kind of positive yardage. Those just say he got back to the line of scrimmage. No yard on the game. So 2nd and 10 on the 46-yard line, 2:25 and still counting. Both of these two teams trying to get a win. Coming in here 2-3. And if Warren Hills, the best way to get a win is controlling the clock, something Marcus Gardiner said he loved to do. He loves to run the football. He loves to control the clock. Trips to the right, getting the signals from his head coach. Aziz to his left in the shotgun. This one takes a snap, goes to that left side, has defender miss, has space, and then tackled out of bounds at the 45-yard line, now in Vikings territory. Rather, they're going to say he was short, so now makes it 3rd and 3. They're going to hurry this one up. Dugan takes it once again, and he's going to turn his way for the first down as they love using that left side. Blockers are getting a lot of penetration and push. And usually anyone, when you want to run the football, you usually go to the left side, or rather the right side, but they're going to the left side now. So now getting the first down and having this clock go all the way down, they're going to be patient and take their time here. Now they hurry up and get to the line. Wing set to the right, two receivers to the left. Par Hill starting to stack that box as they hand it off to Aziz. Aziz is going to bounce this one outside, and he's going to get a great rush for probably about a gain of 6 or 7. Head coach Marcus Gardiner says every week they start 1-0. They look at every matchup as a Super Bowl. So each game is their most important game. Usually every head coach would tell you that. So they want to wash away what happened in the past, but not for them. They're coming off of a 42-7 victory just last week. Aziz gets the call, and he takes this one all the way to the outside. Has a defender miss. Looks like he got a stiff arm, and he's going to have first down and more. And now it's going to be a 1st and 10. Referee said stop the clock for a brief moment, but now they let this one roll. It was a 15-yard gain for Aziz, so he's starting to get those legs moving, and they're controlling the clock just the way that their head coach loves to do. Again, last week against Morris Hills, Dugan only threw 8 passes, all of them completed. This one's going to be another handoff to Aziz. It looks like they were trying to go with the read option. Aziz takes this one right up the gut of the Par Hills defense and turns for 11 more. And with that final play, it looks like it's going to be the end of the first quarter as only 5 seconds left to go. And they're not going to say he got the first down. They're going to say he gained 9 on the play. So with that, after Aziz got a 9-yard gain, Warren Hill still holds this one 7-0 here in Vikings territory here in Parsippany Troy Hills, New Jersey. We'll be right back after these very short messages.
Operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at SussexMeat.com.
If you're not getting the most comfort out of your system, check this out. Like the rest of your neighbors, you want your home to be as comfortable and inviting as possible. It's no surprise with the winter storms around here, the demand for system repairs are way up, which means waiting around for a while for a technician to show up and having to be stuck feeling uncomfortable for a long time, which is why at ICS, we make sure to service your home quickly and efficiently so you can get back to feeling warm and comfortable again. So if you don't want to spend your winter freezing your butt off, visit our website, icshvac.com.
Please help us find and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We broadcast 20 to 30 games a week and telecast all the big playoff games, county championships, and the best games in the area. So by subscribing, you won't miss a beat on any of the action. And don't worry, we will not spam you. Back here in Parsippany Troy Hills, New Jersey, Aziz gets the call to the left side once again, getting a few blockers ahead of him, and a great block by his receiver and Mo Warren as he now takes this all the way, I believe, inside the 10-yard line. Depends on where the referees are going to call him. It was a 2nd and 1 brief moment ago, so those, I'll see if they call this a 1st and goal. To recap, the touchdown was made by Warren Hill's own Evan Matthews. So Matthew gets his 9th catch of the season and his 2nd touchdown of the season as well. So it'll be a 7-yard gain, and it was enough to get inside the 10. So they're on the 10-yard line, 1st and 10 for Warren Hills, and it'll be a timeout called on the field. Timeout called by the Vikings as some defensive assignments were possibly missed and didn't want to take a chance, so Par Hills will take a timeout. We'll keep things here. So Matthew gets the touchdown after his own quarterback, Dugan, scrambles all the way to the outside to the right and then throws across his body to the left. Acrobatic catch to go up there and high point it. And on the back end for Par Hills, just no one on the defensive end able to get upstairs and defend that ball. But great time that time by Evan Matthew to just go upstairs and get it exactly how your receivers coach teaches you. And Evan Matthew, again, one of those guys that leads this team in receiving. Again, he came in this one with 154. Kachala, also one of the guys they love to use in short yardages, as head coach Marcus Gordino told me earlier this week. But then they also have a guy in Mo Warren that they use to go over the top. And we haven't seen that much from him so far. So now Aziz is split out in that slot receiver role by himself all the way in the shotgun as Dugan. Dugan actually hasn't come. Aziz come all the way over to get the ball. And it will only be a 2 to 3 yard gain. Aziz being the prime ball carrier. They haven't had to go to Justin Daniel, who backs him up, as well as Brock During, who is also a backup for this football team. Haven't had to use them so far. So they're going to say actually no yardage gained from that carry from Aziz. Aziz being the workhorse, trying to get his 6th touchdown possibly on the season. Next to his quarterback to the right. Tight wing set. Dugan gets the call, goes to his right side, using his blockers in front of him, and coming down and making the tackle was Mikey Adams for Par Hills. Adams wasn't in a whole bunch of action last week. He only had 1 tackle against Chatham. He evens his total now with that tackle on Dugan. Now makes this a 3rd and 6 on the Par Hills 6-yard line. Trips left. Aziz to his right in the shotgun. Almost had the Par Hills defense jumping with the hard count, and we'll get another timeout, but this time it will be from the Warren Hill side. Par Hill so far struggling to stop the run, and can't really say the pass because they have not even really done anything that was over the top besides the one heave that was to Matthew in the end zone. That front four has to do a better job in stacking up. But as Coach Dave Albano said, he's working with a lot of young guys. A lot of these guys have had to step up due to injury and other circumstances. So with that, you're going to have some growing pains. And with that interior lineman having a hard time so far trying to guard Aziz, as well as Dugan, using that strong side to the left. They love the left side all night so far and has worked in their favor. So here's Warren Hills, pistol formation, hands off. Dugan rolls out to his right, has a receiver, and batted away in great defense that time by Parsippany Hills. On the coverage was Robert Albano, the son of the head coach. That time, great hands in the air to just bat it away, and now makes this a 4th and 6. We'll see if they elect to kick the field goal. As we have substitutions being made by Warren Hills, and I would not be surprised if they do such. Evan Matthew, who caught the touchdown, is also their kicker. He is 7 for 7 on this season when kicking the football. They're going to elect to go for it. Trips to the left, and Aziz to his right. He's going to drop back after getting the snap in the shotgun. He's going to run all the way to his right. He's going to dive for the end zone. Let's see if he's in, and he is.
He's into the end zone.
Dugan scrambles, had no receiver, so he took it himself, and now makes this a 13-0 ball game. And we'll see the replay here. He had no options, all of his options to the left side, no one there, and no one on the contain for Par Hills on that right side, so he took it himself, diving for the end zone. And you just got to wonder if there's some kind of confusion from that Par Hills defense, as the extra point by Matthew will be good. So now it makes it 8 for 8 for him on the season, and now is a 14-0 ball game here in Parsippany Troy Hills on this beautiful 67-degree night. And speaking of Par Hills, we would like to thank Par Hills, the Par Hills Booster Club, Football Booster Club, and Warren Hills Blue Streaks Booster Club for making this game possible. So right now, the Streaks come out swinging with a 14-0 lead after Dugan threw up a heave for his receiver in Evan Matthew to get the touchdown, high pointing it in the end zone. And then Dugan doing it himself, able to run outside, getting his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season. No one on the contain for Par Hills on that outside, and no one able to make the tackle. Adams was behind the play, as well as Giovanni Collins. Jonah Lance tried to do something to get out there, but no one on that right side to contain him. So now Warren Hills with a 14-0 lead, 10:20 left to go in this first half. And we have to see how Par Hills is going to respond. Simone not shy of throwing the football. Again, 58% on his passes this season. He might have to air this one out. This one's going to be a short kick, goes to the lineman as he just falls down and not wanting to make any mistakes. He understands his job and understands it well, as that was Jonah Lance, and he just falls on it. So the drive will start on the 29-yard line, and let's see how Par Hills can respond. So far, Julio Tatis has been in the mix, but hasn't been able to get free. But now we're going to have trips right. Pistol formation for the Vikings. Tatis behind his quarterback, as well as a receiver split out to the left. Takes the snap. Hands off. Tatis, and he fumbles the ball, trying to fall under it. Ball is still loose, picked up by Warren Hills. We'll see if the Streaks have it. We'll see who has the final call. Julio Tatis couldn't secure it in the basket, and the Streaks take advantage of it, and is another opportunity for the Streaks to score, and unfortunately be the first turnover of the game. As we're going to see the replay here, Tatis just wasn't able to get it in the breadbasket, as he had the hands right there and not even able to fall on it, unfortunately. And the first turnover of the game goes to the home team. So now pinned down in their own on their own side of the field, their own 24-yard line. Here comes the Streaks. Receiver split out to the left. Shotgun, hand off to Aziz. Aziz using the blockers in front of him and trying to hang on for dear life and make sure that Aziz doesn't go any farther. Was Julio Tatis, who just fumbled the ball, unfortunately. First turnover goes to the home team, and unfortunately they just get pinned down in their own territory. So only a 3-yard gain on the carry. And now makes it 2nd and 7 on the 21-yard line on the Par Hill side. In the shotgun formation, 2 receivers split out to the left. Tight wing set. Coming over in motion handoff, fakes the handoff, and here's Dugan. Dugan getting a few blockers and goes all the way up the middle and short of the goal line. And Dugan, again, a dual threat quarterback who just got his 3rd rushing touchdown of the season, almost got his 4th, and now they're going in the hurry-up offense. Dugan is going to take it once again, going run up the middle, trying to get in for the touchdown. We'll wait for the final call. And they're going to say he's just short. Just short of the 1-yard line. So it'll be a 2nd and goal for the Streaks. And for Par Hills, you already were burned on the contain factor before when he scrambled out to the right. Looks like they're going to just go right up the gut this time. They're going to be a QB sneak for Dugan, and he might have just got his 4th rushing touchdown of the season, and he has. So now it's a 20-0 ball game here in Parsippany Troy Hills, New Jersey, here on senior night, and the Streaks have come out on a mission. Last week winning 42-7. And now this one on the same trajectory, only if the Vikings can respond. And the kick from Evan Matthews, they're going to say he missed it, so now he's imperfect on the season and now makes him 8 for 9. We're going to take a quick step off here on more Sussex Sports as the Streaks winning this one 20-0 here in Parsippany Troy Hills, New Jersey.
Linda of Loan Depot is your go-to person for home loans, whether it's a new home mortgage or a refinance of your current home. And she specializes in renovations for those who want to add on and fix up. Because of her extensive knowledge of loan programs, problem-solving skills, and steadfast commitment to customer service, Midge ensures that each borrower receives superior guidance as they pursue one of the most personal investments of their lifetime. Reach out to her today at 973-202-0992 or mvandelinda@loandepot.com.
Back here on more Sussex Sports with me, Lloyd Wilson. As this one is going to be kicked off and gathered by Cicatelli. Cicatelli makes a few moves, but only gets, so it looks to be the 23-yard line. We'll wait for the officials to give us the proper spotting. National Football Foundation, the Greater Morris chapter of the National Football Foundation, with the help of generous support by Atlantic Health System and the New York Jets, our mission is to promote the use of amateur football for the development of leadership, sportsmanship, and athletic academic excellence in Morris County's young people by giving a scholar athlete to one football player at each team in Morris, Sussex, and the sports of Warren counties. This one, Ceremonies is going to roll out to his right, and this one's going to be a low pass for his receiver, thrown at his feet. So right now the Vikings are trying to find a way to get back in this game, being down 20-0. That time on the outside was Joshua Smith. Smith so far 5 catches with 52 yards on the season. Someone who head coach Dave Albano said who was really taking a bigger role in that receiver position has been Julio Tatis, pardon me. Shotgun formation. Running back to his right, receivers to his left and right. Rolls out to the right once again, and then blown up. Joey Cicatelli was absolutely shell-shocked by the Warren Hill Sparks defense. That time on the coverage was Mo Warren. Not only does he play that receiver position, but he plays that corner position as well. Got one interception, return for a touchdown against Morris Hills last week, as we have a brief injury on the field. So we'll be right back after these short messages here on Moore's Side. Back here on Morris Sussex Sports after the hard hit from Mo Warren. Cicatelli went down for a brief moment, was able to get up on his own power, so that is good news. And for the Vikings, now makes it a 3rd and 10 after going back-to-back plays, rolling out to the right side for Simone. Simone's in the shotgun, is going to look to his right, now looks downfield. He pump fakes, holds on it, and now brings it out to Tatis. Tatis trying to get to the first down yardage, and he looked to be short by just a yard, but we'll see where the officials put it. They're going to say he got the first down as he was just right there at the marker. As the student section is trying to get this team fired up, rather the band section, as Simone was able to complete this one for a 13-yard gain. So now here he is in the shotgun once again. Receivers to his left and his right. Throws a curl to Joey Cicatelli, who comes right back in the game after getting hit for a brief moment. Rather, that will not be Cicatelli. That will be Mason Jobst. Jobst on the 5-yard curl. Was able to make the catch in his stomach. Rather, it'll be a 6-yard gain. 2nd and 4 on the 41-yard line. 2 receivers to his left and his right. Tatis behind him. He's going to take the handoff. Goes to that left side. Bouncing through tacklers. Going to get the first down to Moore. Trying to bounce it off Moore. And it's going to be a 13-yard gain for Tatis. So great way to make up for your fumble. Trying to get his team back into this game. So now we're in the hurry-up offense for the Vikings. Simone in the shotgun, takes the snap, hands it off to Tatis once again. He's going to bounce this one to the outside, has defenders chasing him, and he's going to be brought down after a 3-yard gain. 20-0 here in this first half as the Sparks have come out swinging, or some would say shocking. Simone comes to Dave Albano trying to get the call, but a penalty will be called on the Vikings as well. So they're going to be pushed back 10 yards. So now makes it a 1st and 20, holding on the play for the Vikings. So now 1st and 20 on their own 44-yard line. Trips to the right, one to the left, receiver to Simone's left. They're going to throw this bubble screen, and going up to get it was Cicatelli. Cicatelli makes a man miss, trying to get to the outside, and not enough, only about a 4-yard gain. So Cicatelli now with 33 catches on the season, came in this one with 331 yards, leads this team in receiving yards as well as touchdowns with 4. Trips to the left, 2nd and 16. One receiver to the right as well. Simone takes the snap, looking for that halfback screen, and that play was almost blown up. Possibly could have been intercepted for the screen, but maybe have to just throw that one away next time. But going up to get it was Tatis. May have lost some yardage on the play. Sometimes it's better just to bat away so you don't lose yards.
Could bring her to the fence in front of the press box, please. We're looking for Maddie with the white shirt.
So now they're going to say We're going to back this one up. So now it is 3rd and 20 for the Vikings after a 6-yard loss, rather 4-yard loss. Trips to the right, and now trips to the left as the motion, trying to find that wheel route. They're actually going to do the jailbreak screen, and Tatis gets the call and able to at least make this a 4th and 10. Possibly had a chance to just break this one away with the jailbreak screen. Great setup that time by the Vikings offensively. If Tatis could just make one more person miss, he was probably off to the races. So now this makes this a 4th and 10, and the way this game is trending, you just got to think you got to go for it. You're on the opponent's side of the field, so that at least speaks to your advantage, just a tad. It's only on the 44-yard line, but at least it's not on your side of the field. So here we go. The first 4th down conversion of the night. Ceremonies in the shotgun, trips to his left, takes the snap, in the shotgun, looks to his left, throws a little bit too high for his man in Cicatelli. And it's going to be a turnover on downs. So right now for the Vikings, they're 0 for 1 in 4th down conversions. And it's going to give the Sparks a little bit of a field position advantage at their own 44-yard line, only 6 yards away from midfield. So you cannot blame the Vikings for going for it. You know, you're down 20-0 in your home stadium. You're trying to get back to 500 as well. Both of these two teams, again, if you're just tuning in, coming in this one 2-3. Trying to get back in their winners column, or rather, Warren Hill is trying to go on a 2-game winning streak. Now here's Dugan. Dugan has been running all over this defense so far tonight. Has motion coming over. That's Aziz. Aziz tackle for a loss, and all the way in the backfield for the Vikings was Justin Daniel. Daniel able to just blow this play up, as we can see, if we possibly can see here on the replay. But we're not, so we're going to continue to move on. But Justin Daniel able to blow up that play and get past multiple linemen to make this a 7-yard loss. So now it's 2nd and 17 on the Sparks' own 38-yard line. In the shotgun set, tight set. Running back to the right. Has the hard count, but no one jumps. Par Hill's looking to stack this box, but also have to be careful to contain. Strong side to the right. Dugan runs to that same side. He's going to get a few blockers in front of him, and he almost got all that yardage back, and possibly a little bit more, as may have been a 9-yard gain on the play, as the referee is going to say that Par Hills takes the timeout, as coming over to talk to the defensive coordinator. So now it makes this 3rd and 17, rather 3rd and 8. So 3rd and 8 for the Sparks, who have been pretty much controlling the time of possession all night tonight. Marcus Gardiner, something that he definitely wanted to establish. Again, he comes into this game 2-3. But also talking to me earlier this week, if you're just joining us, said that he loves to control the clock, and that's exactly what he's doing here tonight, as his team holds a 20-0 lead in hostile territory. And the time of possession has greatly outweighed the one of the Vikings. So now, trips to his left. Dugan takes a snap, drops back, all the way back, drops a little bit too far than probably he wanted to, rolls to his left, throws in the middle of the field, caught by his receiver. He's going to bounce this one all the way to the outside. All the way to the outside, it's Tatis. Rather, Evan Matthew is going to be all the way down inside the 10-yard line. All the way into Viking territory. And we'll see if he's inside the 10. Evan Matthew just sitting all by himself in the middle of the defense, And there's almost a flashback to the first throw that Dugan had made going to Matthew in the end zone in the first quarter. We'll see it again right here pretty quickly as Matthew looks to be inside the 10-yard line as he almost took this one in for a touchdown, maybe at the 5. They're going to put him at the 6 instead. So now it's first and goal on the 6-yard line. Dugan hands it off. Gives it to his running back and Aziz. Aziz just churns his way all the way in, and now it's a 26-0 ball game here in Par Hills, New Jersey, as the Sparks are just continuing to weigh this defense down for the Vikings. And Tatis, pardon me, Aziz just able to have his way. Dugan first with the pass as there is a flag on the play. We'll wait for the official call. It'll be on Par Hills, maybe be encroachment. We'll wait for the call for the referees. But still for the Sparks, just able to come in here and dominate on senior night has just been incredible. Again, had a high-scoring game in their last time out, 42-7. They won that one. And now coming in here doing the same thing. That game against Morris Hills completely dominated the game offensively. Here is Matthews, and now is 9 for 10 on the season. And now it is a 27-0 ball game here in Par Hills, New Jersey. We'll be right back after these short messages.
Jen Basilino of the Kosher Real Estate Group, LLC, is a Morris County top real estate agent and New Jersey Circle of Excellence Award winner year over year that takes the time and care to understand your real estate needs and concerns. She's extremely successful in representing clients in selling and purchasing a home, new construction, townhouses, million-dollar homes, rentals, and even commercial properties. Call her today at 973-202-2103. To your glory days as a high school athlete.
Toyota World of Clifton and Clinton. Toyota World of Clinton is proud to support Warren Hill Blue Streaks with a state-of-the-art service facility and facility-trained product specialists. Toyota World of Clinton is ready to serve all automotive needs. Stop by and mention Warren Hills for our friends and family discount. Shop online 24/7 at ToyotaWorldClinton.com. Go Streaks! And speaking of the Streaks, they are completely dominating this game here in Parsippany Troy Hills. 27-0 so far. And now here are the Vikings on the offensive end. Weren't able to convert their fourth down last time, and here's now Simone all by himself in the backfield. Trips to the right, two receivers to his left. Everyone looks at their wristbands to get the play. Simone gets it in the snap, looks to his right, has a receiver completed to his right, and only for maybe a 2 to 3 yard gain. That time on the reception is Lewis, Musto. So Honolulu Musto was able to get the catch. 250 and counting for this Par Hill squad. Trips to the left, two receivers to the right. By himself in the shotgun is Simone. Simone looks to his left, throws, jukes out a man trying to get it to Tatis, and was only able to evade only one defender, and now makes this a 3rd and short. Rather, they're going to say he got the first down, so continue to make this drive possible and possibly come up with a score. 27-0 here in the second quarter, 2:18 and counting. Trips to the right, 1-2 receivers to the left. Ceremonies in the backfield by himself in the shotgun. Takes the snap, looks to his right, waiting for a man to get open. He's going to throw the wheel route all the way, and a little bit too far for Cicatelli. If he could just put it in his chest and in his hands, he possibly had a touchdown on this play. They set it up perfectly from the wheel route position. Cicatelli coming out from that slot position, but just not able to connect with his star receiver in Joseph Cicatelli. So now it makes this a 2nd and 10 on the 41-yard line. Ceremonies getting the play from Dave Albano. In their last game against Chatham, they threw an interception right before halftime. Let's see if they can correct their mistakes and throw the touchdown, at least give them some life. Here is Ceremonies going to throw a deep ball all the way down and going up the high point. Let's see if it was intercepted, and it wasn't. And with a too-high safety right over the top. Almost with the catch, but with the drop. I'll try to get a license plate on him. It was Justin Daniel. So Justin Daniel not able to make the play. And he had help over the top, so he didn't have to worry about getting beat. It was a good shot play for Part Hills, just maybe not when the defense was set up with a too-high safety. So now here they are in 3rd and long. 2 receivers to the left and the right. Tatis right behind Ceremonies. And Dave Albano talking to the referee on the baseline, or the sideline, and they're going to take a timeout. So with that timeout, we'll take one as well as Par Hills tries to scheme up a play here on 3rd and long. We'll be right back here on Morris Sussex Sports.
Our memories of being out there competing so clear that you can feel it, but then reality sets in and your stiff back, achy knees, and painful shoulders remind you that it's been years or even decades since you could move that way. Don't worry, the team at Better with Physical Therapy's one-on-one customized care can help you feel and move better again. Their specialists will find the cause of what's slowing you down and build a plan that will help you realize that your glory days are still ahead of you. You can get better with Physical Therapy, located in the Madison YMCA. Request an appointment today at betterwithpt.com.
At Planet Networks, our high-speed fiber is designed to be fast.
Back here on Morris Sussex Sports from me, Lloyd Wilson, as the Vikings are in 3rd and long on the 41-yard line, their own 41, and we'll see what Ceremonies can do. He drops back, finds Tatis on the halfback screen. Tatis by himself, flag on the play, and not able to get the first down as he was wrapped up by that Sparks defense. Tackle made by number 30, Cody Miller. And the flag will be on the Vikings. So we'll push them back and negate everything that Tatis just tried to do to make it at least maybe a 4th and manageable. Cody Miller, one of those double-digit tacklers for this Sparks defense. And now here is Ceremonies. Ceremonies targeting his receiver to go deep. They have Cicatelli wide open in the back, and he's going to take this one all the way into the end zone. No one can get him. Touchdown, Vikings! Ceremonies able to roll out and find his man Cicatelli all by himself. As you can see, he's telling him to go deeper. Some miscommunication on the play for the Sparks, and it works in the Vikings' favor. We talked about how they threw a touchdown in last week's game right before halftime against Chatham, and we said we had to throw a touchdown, and it's exactly what they just did, giving this team some life as well as this crowd. And let's see what Joshua Griffith can do, as he missed an extra point last week. We'll see if he can hit it this time. right through the uprights, and it's good. So now it's a 20-point ball game, 27-7 with 1:21 left to go in the first half. And what a better way to do it with your quarterback, Jake Simone, able to roll out to his right, break down the defense, and find a wide open man in Joseph Cicatelli, getting his 5th touchdown on the season. So with that, Par Hills able to strike back in some capacity to at least decrease this lead to 20 now. And just to refresh those who are watching here on More Sussex Sports, get the ball back at half. So that score was much needed to get back in this game. So awaiting the call all the way in the back is Mo Warren, who has been pretty quiet in today's offensive approach. Haven't had to use him really. This one going to be a short, quick, and recovered by the Vikings. The Vikings are going to take this all the way back into Sparks territory. Dave Albano with a risky call, and it works to his favor as his team gets the ball back once again. A short squib kick. And coming up with it looked to be Giovanni Collins. So Collins with a nice heads-up play for the Vikings, but unfortunately, it was going to be it was Giovanni Collins, but they're going to place it at the spot of where he recovered it instead of the yardage gain when he got it and ran with it. So this offense will start on the Sparks side of the field on the 47-yard line. So in some sports, rather college, you could run after it and run after the play, but in high school it will be the spot. So Simone all the way in the back of the field and then just wrestled down by Warren Hills, wondering why he didn't throw it away. It'll be a loss of 10 on the play. That tackle made by Anthony Ferroni for Warren Hills. Just a monster in that linebacker position. Takes the snap from the shotgun position, looks left, tries to go to outside the numbers, caught by his receiver, and it will be Cicatelli on the far side. Cicatelli with the touchdown on their last possession. 30 seconds and counting now for the Vikings. Vikings with no timeouts. So they're in the hurry-up offense. Simone in the shotgun, trips to his left, 2 receivers to his right. He's going to look, he's going to throw, no defender, and Tatis just goes up and high points it, has it one-handed, and goes out of bounds at the 19-yard line with 11 seconds left to go. So not looking behind him, was the DB and Brock During. At least on the play. And not able to have his head turned, and this will be a big gain. Rather, they're going to put this at the 25-yard line. So 25-yard line, 11 seconds to go for the Vikings. Simone in the shotgun, receivers to his right and to his left. He's going to look left. He's going to look over the middle. He's going to throw a dart, but it's going to be too far for his receiver and Cicatelli to connect. A little bit too much air than what he wanted, and now Albano has to make a decision. Does he want to go for the kick? Or maybe one more shot to the end zone. And that's just the second play that Cicatelli and Simone cannot connect. The first time it was too much air on it. Rather, both of the times that he tried to connect, one on the sideline, a little bit too far from, and this one right over the middle, a little bit too far. So he looked at the bubble screen for his first option, waiting to have the safety bite, and then he was able to get behind Cicatelli. So here's one more shot to the end zone. Hit as he throws, as this one's going to be to the middle of the field, but that'll be the end of the first half as the clock strikes triple zeros as pressure came from that left side. And on the pressure that time will be Ryan Van Nest. So that'll be it for the end of the first half as Par Hills was able to strike back right before halftime to make this a 27-7 ball game, only 20-point ball game, and we'll see how it goes. We'll see how if Par Hills can strike back in the second half. You're listening to Morris Sussex Sports. For the Par Hill Vikings, they're going to take this. It's going to be a handoff to the left side. He's going to run through his few blockers, but we have a flag on the play. Clock ticking with 7:45 left to go in this first. He's going to take the snap, but a flag will be on the play. More likely be looks downfield, not able to get it there, and he's going to be sacked by Warren Hills. He's going to bounce this one to the outside. Flag on the play, but going all the way and diving for the end zone. He's going to call it a touchdown, but not before the flag is thrown. In the more
Thank you, Viking cheerleaders.
For the Par Hill Vikings, they're going to take this. It's going to be a handoff to the left side. He's going to run through his few blockers, but we have a flag on the play. Clock ticking with 7:45 left to go in this first. He's going to take the snap, but a flag will be on the play. More likely be looks downfield, not able to get it there, and he's going to be sacked by Warren Hills. He's going to bounce this one to the outside. Flag on the play, but going all the way and diving for the end zone. He's going to call it a touchdown, but not before the flag is thrown, and more likely will be coming back. Go to the outside is Dugan. Dugan doesn't have anyone to throw. He's going to throw this one across the field and right into the defense and going up for it, and it's a score! Warren Simone takes a snap, drops back, fires across the middle, diving for the catch, and caught. But we'll see if the referees are going to call him down to go for it. Trips to the left, and Aziz to his right. He's going to drop back after getting the snap in the shotgun. He's going to run all the way to his right. He's going to dive for the end zone. Let's see if he's in, and he is!
Antonetta and Gabriella. Robert plans on furthering his education by attending a local college. Jacob Bland, escorted by his mom, Chloe, his dad, Josh, his sister and brother, Maddie and Damon, his grandparents, Dick and Katie. He's going to attend fire school and go to an out-of-state university. Nick Buckley. He is escorted by his mom and dad, and he plans to pursue a pre-law degree in college. Austin Cerullo, number 54. Escorted by his mom, his dad, his sister, and brother. He plans on getting a degree in engineering at a 4-year university. Joe Flamio, number 58. Escorted by his mom, Kelly, his dad, Frank, his sister, Allison. He plans to go to college to pursue a career in criminal justice. Joshua Griffith, number 3. Escorted by his mom, his dad, his sister. He plans to go to college to pursue a career in business, and he hopes to continue to play football. Connor Johannesson, number 56. He is escorted by his mom, Jessica, his dad, Paul, his sister, Kayla. His plans are to play football in college and to study business. Mason Kerrigan, number 62. He's escorted by his mom, his dad, former Viking Parker, his brother, and Katie, another former Viking. Mason plans to get a degree in criminal justice, and the Kerrigans hope the Mets win tonight. Jonah Lance, number 52. Escorted by his mom, Erica, his grandmother, Aunt Michelle, his Aunt Laura. He plans to go to college to study criminal justice in pursuit of a law enforcement career. Tyler Lukowski, number 9. Escorted by his mom, his dad, his sister. Tyler plans to get an economics degree at a 4-year university. John Lewis Musto, number 11. Escorted by his mom, his dad, and his sister Gianna. John Lewis plans to get a degree in economics or political science and pursue a law degree. Giovanni Nigro, number 34. He's escorted by his mom, Jamie Kersley, his dad, Matthew Kersey, his sister, Angelina Kersley, his brother, Gary Nigro. He plans to continue his education after he graduates. Joey Riley, number 8. Escorted by his mom, his dad, his brothers, Donato and Tony, and he plans to pursue a degree in engineering in college. Nolan Schaefer, number 55, escorted by his mom, Valerie, brother Connor, another former Viking, Grandpa Robert, and Grandma Patricia. Nolan plans to go to County College of Morris after graduation. Chris Stearns, number 64, escorted by his mom, his dad, and his sister. He plans on getting a degree in the business field at a 4-year university. Nicholas Stringham, number 67. Escorted by his mom, his dad, his sister Andrea, his sister Alyssa, and his brother Alex. He plans on attending college and pursuing a business degree. Those are your seniors from your Vikings varsity football team. Now your marching band and color guard seniors. Jackson Bilges House.
Times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
I was born fast. Parisi made me faster.
I thought I could jump. Parisi brought me to new heights.
I wasn't always quick. Parisi made me lightning fast.
Strength was never my strength. Parisi changed all that.
At Madison Tire and Auto Repair LLC, our philosophy is the customer is number one. We offer a variety of products and automotive services to enhance your vehicle's performance. Our mission is simple. We never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer more than they expect. Because at Madison Tire and Auto Repair LLC, our philosophy is the customer is number one. Please call us for a quote or service question at 973-377-1915.
Montella Inc. is a family-owned dumpster rental business located in Stanhope, New Jersey that's been around since 1984. We provide prompt quality service at a reasonable price for our New Jersey customers, whom we consider our family. We don't just take out the trash. Montella Inc. is a full-service waste management company servicing demolition sites, construction projects, factory sites, shopping centers, commercial businesses, and homeowners. Call today at 973-927-2232.
Stop by Anthony Franklin. we believe that quality and satisfaction go hand in hand. We take great care to author authentic New York-style pizza, as well as many classic and modern Italian dishes without compromising on cost or relying on ingredients that are frozen or preserved. Our ingredients come from Wisconsin's finest dairies. We order pasta made weekly at one of Brooklyn's oldest pasta houses and coordinate daily deliveries of the best fresh meat and produce from the Hunts Point Market in the Bronx.
Now we recognize our marching band and color guard seniors. Jackson Bilgeshouse, escorted by parents Tammy and Bill. Jackson plans on going to college to become a choir teacher. Bella Brisson, escorted by her parents Tony and Brant Brisson. Bella plans to attend college and study pre-law. Haley Carlson, escorted by her mother Christine. Haley is planning on going to college to major in psychology or education. Dylan Chu, escorted by his parents Yu Chu and CJ Chu. Dylan plans to attend college next fall. Dylan Franz, escorted by his parents David and Allison Franz. Dylan plans to go to college for computer science. Gavin Arati, escorted by his parents Mary Ellen and Fred. Gavin wants to attend college to pursue a civil engineering degree. Kira King, escorted by her parents Dawn and T, her sister Corla. Kira plans to graduate with her cosmetology license and a degree in small business management and open up her ethnic hair specialized salon. Megan Liang, escorted by her parents Diane and Michael. Megan plans to pursue a degree in humanities. Charlie Love, escorted by his parents Larry and Teddy. Charlie plans to study music composition in college. Kush Patel, escorted by his parents Amita and Jaden. Kush plans to go to college for information technology. Spandon Patel, escorted by his father Nee King, his mother Hetal, and cousin Shreyal. Spandon plans to attend NJIT to pursue a degree in IT and cybersecurity. Asher Squeeze Paterno, escorted by their parents Matt and Christine and William Lanza. Asher plans to go to school to study musical theater. Antara Rajigopal, escorted by her mother Vidya, brother Rohan, and best friend Kenneth. Antara plans to go to college and hopefully grad school for computer science and plans to work with different types of technology and AI. No Kishin, Seema Korte, escorted by his parents, Rupindra and Jeetha, and brother Vihan. Kishan plans to major in aerospace, engineering, and business analytics. Sonali Shastri, escorted by her parents Kunal and Kwevna. Sonali plans on going to college to pursue a degree in biomedical engineering and business. Mia Suarez, escorted by Jaden Cohen and Jade Schaefer. Mia plans on going to college to study clinical psychology and music, as well as to continue with the color guard. Eric Yang, escorted by his parents, his brother Kevin. Eric plans to attend a 4-year college, hoping to study either engineering or business. Matthew Yonig, escorted by his parents Noel and Lily, his sister Grace. Matt plans on going to college to study marketing. Ladies and gentlemen, your seniors from your marching band and color guard.
Home plate surfaces for more practice and more play with driveway basketball lines in any color with college and NBA three-point lines and your team logos. Don't forget about custom pull pads. How about a driveway pickleball courts or a dedicated backyard court? For all your home sports needs, call or text Mike Westhead at The Sports Installer at 973-525-6424. When it comes to sports, we're your home team.
Hi, I'm Rob Gusweiler. As the branch manager of our Parsippany location for North Point Bank, I can tell you emphatically that our customers continue to sing our praises. Our community values us as much as we at North Point value our team. Our goal is to always exceed our clients' expectations. If you're just zipping through life and need a helping hand with any of your home buying decisions, please give us a call today.
Blue Nail Roofing and Siding. Come home to craftsmanship. If you're even considering roofing, solar, siding, windows, doors, gutters, Blue Nail Roofing and Siding is a local family business with the best customer reviews in this part of America that you can truly trust. When the team at Blue Nail Roofing and Siding does a job, it will be done right. Count on it. Start the conversation now about your next project. Visit BlueNailNJ.com for a complimentary consultation. Blue Nail Roofing and Siding. Come home to craftsmanship.
If you live in Andover, Blairstown, Byram, Frankfurt, Franklin, Frieden, Frelinghuysen, Greene, Hampton, Hardwick, Hope, Knowlton, Lafayette, Newton, Sparta, Stillwater, Sussex, and Wantage, Planet Networks is building high-speed fiber in your neighborhood. Visit GetPlanetFiber.com today to learn more.
I actually used to be deathly afraid of public speaking. I intentionally became an adjunct professor teaching tax, and I also became a Zumba instructor as a way of overcoming this fear of mine. They're both forms of leading and teaching in their own right. Bottom line though, WIS supports my passions. I truly believe that WIS wants me to be the best version of myself, and it's such an amazing feeling that I truly have the freedom to do that here.
WIS gives me the freedom to be entrepreneurial, innovative. I feel supported to bring 100% of myself and my personality to work each and every day. I'm the CEO of WIS Family Office. I have 2 amazing children. I'm the daughter of French and Italian immigrants. Above all, I'm someone who derives strength and confidence from my ability to connect with others, and I strive to make a difference in their lives.
I enjoy helping nonprofits achieve their goals and really accomplish their mission, namely by nurturing my relationship with them, their staff, their donors, their volunteers, and their board members. I think the key to being trusted is really transparency. What I've seen time and time again is that when you give anything the right conditions, the support, the autonomy, trust, your full attention, it will thrive. This is as true for my clients and for my colleagues as it is for myself here at WIS.
For all of the perks that come with working here, I would say that the most valuable thing WIS offers is freedom. The freedom to make the most of your role, to really go beyond the job description, the freedom to think differently and be rewarded for it, and the freedom to show up as 100% who you are.
Choosing a college is a big, big, big deal. But I know I started right because CCM is in the top 2% of community colleges in the nation. And at County College of Morris, I get to choose from over 100 programs. Whether you're just out of high school, like me, exploring career options,
Like me.
or seeking lifelong learning,
Like me.
make CCM your choice, like me. Go big and visit ccm.edu and aspire to be you.
Sussex Meatpacking in Wharton, New Jersey is a family-owned and operated business specializing in USDA prime and choice meats, pork, poultry, lamb, veal, and many other store-made specialty items. They also have a fantastic deli, a wonderful market with all the freshest fruits, veggies, and pre-made meals, and they can cater any event, including your family holiday dinners, more delicious than you can on your own. Visit them at sussexmeat.com.
Welcome in back to more Sussex Sports with me, Lloyd Wilson, along with my broadcast partners on today's production, Jack Alvarez on the production side and Aaron McCannany outside for us on the camera. As it was 67 degrees before coming into this game, now it's probably dipped down to maybe about 65, 62. Real feel maybe like 59. But with that being said, the Vikings trailing at home by 20, 27-7, as they were able to get a halftime score thanks to Cicatelli running into the end zone off of a broken play that Ceremonies was able to dip off to. And this one's going to be a short kick, a squib kick, but it may not have gotten past where they needed to, but the referees are going to say that it was recovered by the Sparks. It has to at least go past 10 yards from where it was kicked. And from a naked eye's view, it didn't look like it went past 10 yards. But they're going to say it is Warren Hill's ball in Vikings territory, and they're going to place this at the 48-yard line to get the second half started. So update, if the team that is trying to recover the ball touches it first before the kickoff team touches it, it is a fair ball. But as again, couldn't see from the naked eye, but Dugan's not going to waste any time as he's going to take this to the right side, to the opposite side they've loved all night. He's going to take this for a double-digit gain, look to be about 11. So the Vikings look like they touched the ball first before the Sparks were able to get a hand on it, and that's why they were rewarded the onside kick. But it is in the review mirror now, and it's a 1st and 10 on the 36-yard line for the Vikings. In the shotgun is Dugan, gets the motion, handoff to Aziz. Aziz gets this one into the second territory, and he's going to be ran out of bounds after a 15-yard gain for the Sparks. Aziz was the workhorse in the first half, along with his quarterback and Luke Dugan. Again, Dugan, the quarterback, dual threat, came in this game with 220 yards rushing and has now 4 rushing touchdowns on the season. He was able to scramble out to the right side for his first one, rather the third rushing touchdown. Then on the 1-yard line, the QB sneak. Here he is in the shotgun once again, handoff to Aziz. He goes up in between the tackles, and he's going to keep moving those feet for about a 6-yard gain, making it a 2nd and 4. So the Blue Streaks now with the football. 2nd and 6, a 4-yard gain on the 11 of the Vikings. And if you're the Blue Streaks, all you have to do continue to run this football. Receivers split out wide to the left and right, motion coming across. And he's going to take this one up. The gut is Dugan. Dugan got 4 on the carry. So this will be a 3rd and short. So it's going to make it a 3rd and 2nd. Substitutions for the Blue Streaks. Mo Warren checks into the game, and they may hand this one up right up to Jaden Aziz, who's been the absolute workhorse for this team. They're going to do a tight pistol formation, handoff to the right side for Aziz. Aziz is going to follow his blockers and walk right into the end zone for another Blue Streak score. 7 yards untouched for Jaden Aziz, and now he gets his 6th touchdown of the season. As you can see, the tight pistol formation, no one really able to get a hand on him, and he just walks into the end zone following a great block from his offensive line. They've loved that left side all night, but they chose to go right this time. And now that brings up the kicker and receiver who caught a touchdown in the first half with a high-pointed catch. Here is Evan Matthew, 9 and 10 on the season. He missed the extra point earlier in this game. So here he is on the season now, 9 for 10. And movement up front, and it'll be on the Blue Streaks. So now that makes this a 33-7 ball game. The Vikings were able to strike right before the half with a touchdown to Sikatelli right up the right sideline. Whereas last week they threw an interception last week against Chatham with no points going into half. So new life possibly for the Vikings as they get this ball back. They just have to find a way to stop the Blue Streaks, as the kick is good to make it a 34-7 lead for the Blue Streaks. And we'll take a quick step off here on Morris Sussex Sports.
Check this out. Like the rest of your neighbors, you want your home to be as comfortable and inviting as possible. It's no surprise with the winter storms around here, the demand for system repairs are way up, which means waiting around for a while for a technician to show up and having to be stuck feeling uncomfortable for a long time, which is why at ICS, we make sure to service your home quickly and efficiently so you can get back to feeling warm and comfortable again. So if you don't want to spend your winter freezing your butt off, visit our website, icshvac.com.
Washington Flooring has been servicing the floor needs of Warren and Hunterdon counties for over 20 years. We have been using the same simple plan, keeping our customers happy. Make sure we are price sharp and give the most value for your dollar. Make sure we do what we do, and we will say what we do. Number 800, no 800 numbers, no departments, no third-party contractors, one point of contact from start to finish. Lastly, do it right, no headaches, no callbacks. Have a staff trained, outperform expectations. Our slogan is affordable, accountable experts. We look forward to earning your business. Visit us at www.washingtonflooring.com. The Blue Streaks lead this one here on senior night in Parsippany Troy Hills, New Jersey. 34-7, 9:50 left to go in this third quarter, and now here are the Vikings trying to strike back. In the shotgun formation, 2 to his left and 3 to the right. Simone by himself in the backfield. Shotgun set. 2 high safeties for the Blue Streaks. Not allowing anything deep. We'll see what Simone takes here. Takes the step back, pumps fakes, goes to his right and caught. Catch will be made by his number 1 guy in Julio Tatis. Tatis coming in this one with 19 catches, receiving 295 yards with a touchdown. That time he was able to secure the pass for a 6-yard gain. Now makes this 2nd and 4. Simone all by himself once again. Looks left, throws left, has Cicatelli. Great block from his receiver. Cicatelli takes this one upfield, and he's going to make this a first down as he got a great block to get extra yardage by Mason Joust. First and 10 on the 46-yard line on the Blue Streak side. Only 1 turnover for both of these two teams, and it was the turnover for Tatis where he wasn't able to secure the football off the handoff from Simone. The only turnover in this game, so it's been pretty solid, no sloppy behavior. 2 receivers to the left, 3 to the right. Simone in the shotgun, looking for the wheel route, looks to his right, throws, and this one almost intercepted. And a little bit more drive, Mo Warren could have possibly had an interception, but he was looking for Mason Joust on the far side. Incomplete. Brings up now 2nd and 10. And they're going to switch it to now the 36-yard line, in fact. If you're just tuning in, both of these two teams coming in this one 2-3, one on the losing side, the other one on the winning side. The Blue Streaks won last week 42-7 against Morris Hills, while the Vikings fell 1 point short against Chatham 14-13. As this one's here, another jailbreak screen to Tatis. Tatis takes this one in the middle of the field, has a great stiff arm, and is able to extend it, possibly the first down. We'll see if he'll get the marker. But great stiff arm that time by Tatis. And stiff arming the defender and TJ Kachala. Kachala, one of their strong tacklers, just wasn't able to bring Tatis down as he was able to get the first down. Here he is now. Here are the Vikings on the 25-yard line. By himself, empty. Simone rolls to his left, tells everyone to go, but he has no receiver, so he's going to run this one by himself and taken down in bounds. Looked to be a 2-yard gain. Great closeout tackle by the Blue Streaks. Ceremonies by himself once again, trips to his right, 2 to his left, looks to his right, throws another jailbreak screen, and looks like the Blue Streaks can't get ahead of it. And there is Joseph Cicatelli for a 8-yard gain. And they've run that jailbreak screen to success now 3 times where they've gotten great yards out of it. So Vikings get another first down, and they're moving this offense. Ceremonies looks to his right, scrambles to his right, no one able to bring him down, makes a man miss, still turning with those legs, and got a 6-yard gain out of it. So for the Vikings, it's not that they're not moving the football, it's just points have not come out of it sometimes. Only gone for it on 4th down once today, 0 for 1 in 4th down conversion, 7-13 and counting. Time of possession in favor of the Blue Streaks as they've been running the ball to succession all night. In motion, here comes Joust. They get a handoff to him, and almost for the first down. And making the tackle will be inside linebacker for the Blue Streaks. It will be Anthony Ferroni. Ferroni getting a lot of love from his head coach, and Marcus Gardiner says he makes a lot of inside tackles, doesn't really play a lot to the right. He usually plays inside. And that time he had to go to the outside to make that tackle. That last carry is by Cicatelli, not Joust. This one's going to be an end zone all the way to the back of it, and it's going to be caught. Joey Cicatelli all the way in the back of the end zone. And a great pass with Ceremonies. Ceremonies was looking to his right, fooled the defense, had their eyes looking, but goes all the way back to the left for Cicatelli and the back end of the end zone. It's a touchdown for the Vikings and can make this a 20-point ball game once again. To kick is Joshua Griffith. He'll get the snap, he'll get the hold, and it is pure right through the uprights. And it makes this a 34-14 ball game with 6:21 left to go in the third. But what a great pass and great deception that time by the quarterback, the first-year starter, and Jake Ceremonies, able to roll to his right, fool the defense, have their eyes looking, then go right back to the left to Joey Cicatelli for his 2nd touchdown of the game, now his 6th touchdown of the season. Cicatelli leads this team in receptions as well as touchdowns scored, and he's well over 400 yards for receiving now after today's game. So now here come the Vikings on defense, but you also have to watch out for the onside kick. Some trickery last time from Marcus Gardiner with the onside kick, which was given to the Blue Streaks because a Par Hills defender touched it first. But now here they are maybe getting, well, they get a taster, give them a taste of their own medicine. We'll see. Now this is going to be a long kick. And this one taken by Mo Warren all the way back at the 5-yard line. He's going to make a few misses, but he's going to be wrapped up and taken down at the 15-yard line. We'll see where they officially spot it, but this is going to be inside the 15. Rather, they're going to give him more than expected. They're going to rather give him the 18. So the drive will start for the Blue Streaks on the 18-yard line. They lead this game 34-14. They're a touchdown away from having as many points as they did last week, with the exception of a 2-point conversion. Scored 42 points last week against Morris Hills. There they are now. Motion set. Leaves falling down from the trees here in Parsippany Troy Hills. And getting the call is Aziz once again. Going to that right side. So they heavily favored that left side running in the first half. Now they go to the opposite side. So it's going to be a 2-yard gain. 2nd and 8. And if the Vikings can just slow down the running game from both the quarterback and the running back, this game would look different. And Dugan, who hasn't thrown really any more than the passes that he's thrown he threw last week, he went 8 for 8 for 99 yards. This one, he hasn't even thrown up to 8 passes. He hasn't had to. Tight set. Wings to the left and the right. Motion coming from left to right. Hand off to Aziz. Aziz bounces one outside, but the Vikings are right there to cover it up. That time tackle made by Connor Jonathan. Jonathan has been in the mix when it comes to bringing down Aziz and Dugan. Again, with Jonathan last week, he was able to get 3 tackles, also forced a fumble against Chatham. 3 receivers to the left of Dugan. Aziz to his left as well. No one on that right side. No one in the backfield, no one on the back end for the Vikings. Jops, the deepest man for the Vikings. In the shotgun set, hand off to Aziz. Aziz is just going to get covered up as no yards gained on that one. They're going to say maybe even a yard, but he's going to come up way short of the first down marker. It's going to be 4th and 6. So giving some life for the Vikings in this crowd if they can get this ball back and go down and score. Cicatelli, the deep man to have this ball returned. Punting. And this one's going to be a shank as this one goes out of bounds at the 45-yard line. Only a 20-yard punt for the Blue Streaks, and the Vikings will take over in Blue Streaks territory. So on the 45-yard line, here are the Vikings with an opportunity to cut this deficit down even more. Losing this game 34-14 after an incredible pass from Dugan in the first half to his number 1 receiver, and Evan Matthew high-punting it in the end zone and then running it in for himself 2 times on the keep and the scramble. Simone backs up, looks deep, has Cicatelli by himself, caught on the sideline, and he's going to walk in for another Vikings touchdown. 1 play, 45 yards. Vikings cutting this deficit down even more. 34-20 is your score, awaiting the extra point. And as we can see here, all by himself, he's going to take a 5-step drop back. Cicatelli coming in motion, their number 1 receiver, and no one, not even the DB, even in 5 yards range of him. As you can see, he just walks right in for the touchdown. 1 play, 45 yards, and that's all that took. 30 seconds, not even 15, to get into the end zone for the Vikings. As the kick is up and it is good. And it makes this a 13-point ball game, 34-21 here in senior night in Parsippany Troy Hills. Vikings trying to make a comeback in the second half. We'll be right back here on Morris Sussex Sports.
Linda of Loan Depot is your go-to person for home loans, whether it's a new home mortgage or a refinance of your current home. And she specializes in renovations for those who want to add on and fix up. Because of her extensive knowledge of loan programs, problem-solving skills, and steadfast commitment to customer service, Midge ensures that each borrower receives superior guidance as they pursue one of the most personal investments of their lifetime. Reach out to her today at 973-202-0992 or mvandelinda@loandepot.com.
special thanks to Dan Carroshio and Archie Fisher of Crown Mortgage, for sponsoring this game. Reach out to them at mtarlington.crownlow.com to get better deal on your mortgage. Again, that is mtarlington.crownlow.com to get better deal on your mortgage. And here are the Vikings trying to strike back. Now it's a 13-point ball game. They've scored on their first 2 possessions coming out into the second half. Two plays, gone to Joey Cicatelli, their number 1 guy, who came in this one with 4 TDs, now has 7 touchdowns on the season. 1 in the beginning of the half, 1 to start this second half, and then another one to make this a 13-point ball game. So now here are the Vikings on defense again. They were able to get a 3-and-out on their last possession. So let's see if they can recreate and redo their magic on the defensive end. Dugan in the shotgun, motion coming to the left to the right. They're going to do a counter, and it's going to go to Aziz, but not before it's being blown up by Giovanni Nigro, one of the seniors of this football squad, who was honored by this Viking faithful at halftime, being escorted by his mom, his dad, and his brother as well. Good honor for him on this senior night. For Dugan in the shotgun has Anthony Ferroni in that wing set to his left. They've loved to use him in that motion, to use him as a lead blocker, but Dugan also has 3 receivers to his right. Trips to the right, takes the handoff. Dugan's going to take it himself, going up the gut, but not before being wrapped up by Giovanni Collins that time. Now makes this a 3rd and manageable. 3rd and 5 on the 35-yard line of the Blue Streak side. This will be huge for the Vikings if they can get 2 back-to-back 3-and-outs on the 2 possessions coming out at halftime for the Blue Streaks. Trips to the left, hard count, not falling for the Vikings. Wing set to Ferroni on the right, trips to the left. On the far side, appears to be Marone, and then Dugan's going to go ahead and get the first down, but not before the flag is thrown. This one might be coming back for a holding. Rather, that'll be Evan Matthew to the far side and not Warren. And this one's going to come back as the Blue Streaks were being called for a holding, and this will back them up. It'll be a 10-yard penalty, and it's going to be a 3rd and long now for the Blue Streaks, and this can give some life to this Vikings crowd. And if you're Marcus Gardiner, head coach of the Blue Streaks, what do you want to do? Maybe think of something creative to just get out of your own side, or probably think of something safe to get positive yardage, at least to make it a solid enough punt. Last time, the punt shanked as Dugan's going to run to his right, has no one. This one better than the air, and no one in the vicinity. The closest man was probably Jonah Lance, the senior, but he didn't get his head around to have the interception, unfortunately. So it'll be a 3-and-out for the Blue Streaks, and an opportunity for the Vikings to, again, get the ball and go down and score on their first 3 possessions here in the second half. The deepest man to get this ball, Joseph Cicatelli, 3 touchdowns in this game. This one is going to be a strong punt. Close to maybe a 35-yard punt. And it's going to roll its way in the Vikings territory with 1:33 left to go in this third quarter. They're going to put this ball on the 38-yard line. So on the 38, that's where the Vikings will start their drive. They scored on their first 2 possessions coming out of halftime. Let's see if they can do it once again. Trips to the right, 2 receivers to the left. Ceremonies by himself in the back. 1 high safety. They're going to do the bubble screen. Cicatelli's there, and he's going to extend for as much as he can for a gain of probably 6. Cicatelli, their number 1 target coming into this game. They've also used some guys like Mason Joust, even Julio Tatis in that receiving game, mostly on the ground though. But it has all been Cicatelli in this game. It's going to call for a 3-yard gain, 2nd and 7, same set, 3 receivers to the right. They're going to go outside, bubble screen once again, trying to have a few men miss. That's Tatis. Tatis juking out the entire defense, trying to at least get positive yardage, but a flag is going to be thrown at the end of this play. It may be a block in the back. We'll see what the official call is. It's definitely on the Vikings, and it will be a block in the back for the Vikings, and that usually is what happens when the receiver is trying to get to that second level, and the linemen are coming over, and receivers are trying to help you out to get you positive yardage. But this one's going to be backed up with 50 seconds left to go. So now this backs it up to the 41-yard line. Rather, this will be on the 30-yard line. 45 seconds. They take a 5-second runoff of the clock. Trips to the left. Ceremonies backs up. Wants to throw deep. Has no one. It's going to bounce out the pocket. Rolls to his left. Throws a heave up to the sideline and just throws it away. Smart play that time by him. So now makes this a 3rd and long. He wanted to throw deep, but he pump faked. And once you hesitate, there could be problems lurking. But he was smart to throw this one away and live for another day. So now 3rd and long, 31 seconds left to go in this 3rd. It would be great, obviously, if you can get the 1st down. But if you don't score on this possession, that's fine. Just play solid defense going into the 4th. Get the ball back and get an opportunity to score once again. But here is Ceremonies. Trips to the left. He looks left. He's waiting for things to develop. He has someone in the flank, and there it is. That man, Cicatelli. Cicatelli makes 2 defenders miss, going back into the middle of the defense, extending all the way, and he gets to now the 41-yard line. So it's a 30-yard gain. They only needed 18, but they got 30, so it won't be 41. They'll be on the 39, and they're going to try to run one more play. In the shotgun set, Ceremonies. Ceremonies takes the snap, hands off, halfback draw a flag on the play, though, as that'll probably still be the last play of the quarter. And rather, he did not have Cicatelli in the flat. He had him in the quarter. Yes, quarter, like 25 cents. He had him in the quarter zone to get the 30-yard gain, more than what was needed. And this play more likely will be coming back as the officials are going to call false start on the Vikings. It'll back them up, but it'll still be 1st down, and then they may have this one run out of the 3rd quarter, so we'll go to the 4th. So they're going to back them up. And they're going to say that will be the end of the quarter, as this ball is still on the 39, but head coach Dave Albano trying to plead his case, but that'll do it for the 3rd quarter after a 30-yard gain from Joey Cicatelli. 3 touchdowns and is able to get the 1st down. Only needed 18, but he's having himself a game trying to get his team back into it. We'll be right back here on more Sussex Sports.
Jen Basilino of the Kosher Real Estate Group, LLC, is a Morris County top real estate agent and New Jersey Circle of Excellence Award winner year over year that takes the time and care to understand your real estate needs and concerns. She's extremely successful in representing clients in selling and purchasing a home, new construction, townhouses, $1 million homes, rentals, and even commercial properties. Call her today at 973-202-2103. Do your glory days as a high school athlete feel far behind you? Are memories of being out there competing so clear that you can feel it? But then reality sets in and your stiff back, achy knees, and painful shoulders remind you that it's been years or even decades since you could move that way. Don't worry, the team at Better with Physical Therapy's one-on-one customized care can help you feel and move better again. Their specialists will find the cause of what's slowing you down and build a plan that will help you realize that your glory days are still ahead of you. You can get better with Physical Therapy located in the Madison YMCA. Request an appointment today at betterwithpt.com.
At Planet Networks.
Back here on more Sussex Sports, we want to thank the Par Hills Booster Club as well as the Warren Hills Blue Streaks Booster Club for making this game possible. And it has been a little bit of a comeback for the Parsippany Troy Hill Vikings. They were losing this game. First off, if you're just joining in, they were losing this one originally 20-0 here at home. Then the touchdown made by Cicatelli made it a little bit more of a game, but then the Blue Streaks go down and score once again after it was a run-in by Aziz going untouched, making it 27-7. Then we make this a little bit more of a game coming out of halftime. The Vikings, first off, they get the ball in the second half, able to strike first with Cicatelli going up the sideline. And then Cicatelli, once again, able to beat out his man going down the sideline for a fade route. And now here we are, and it is a 13-point ball game, 34-21. Blue Streaks were able to obviously score in that third quarter to make this 34-21. And that was the run-in by Aziz, again untouched, which made it 34 to be clear. So now here are the Vikings, who got called for a false start before the end of that third quarter. So they're now dealing with a 1st and 15 on the 40-yard line as they switch possessions. As there's some conversation and some uncertainty between the referees, as head coach Dave Albano was talking to them the entire time we were on break. But it'll still stand at 1st and 15 on the 40-yard line as the Vikings are getting set to not really hurry up. If they can get a solid score here, play one good stop of defense, maybe get a 3rd and out, then go on the other side and tie this game up, anything can happen. But they've done the hard work. They got the first 2 touchdowns, and they got them quickly, preferably, and fairly to say. It was one play, 45 yards to the end zone for Joey Cicatelli, right down the left sideline, the home side sideline, so that had to feel good for him. So here he is now on the home side sideline once again on the bottom of your screen. Simone in the shotgun set. Play has not started yet. Referees waiting to give the call for both of these two teams. Vikings in Blue Streaks territory, and here they are now. 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and Tatis to Simone's left. He takes a snap, rolls out, was looking down the middle. He has a man down the middle. That's Cicatelli, but again, too strong. As Cicatelli was looking more for the post route, but since Simone couldn't throw a dart on time, he put a little bit too much air on it and allowed Cicatelli and forced him to go upfield. So now it makes this a 3rd and 15 as they took a down away from the Vikings. So maybe that's what head coach Dave Albano was talking about on there was a loss of down. So it's 3rd and long now for the Vikings. And Simone drops all the way back. Great protection. This one lofted in the air and in the hands of Tatis, but he drops it on the sideline. two defenders closest to Tatis, but not able to haul that one in. And it's going to be a 4th and 10, rather 4th and 15 for the Vikings, and they're going to have to punt this ball away. They're already 0 for 1 on 4th down conversions today. And even with all the time, and even with that ball lofting in the air, Tatis had enough time to at least go up and have 2 feet in before he went out of bounds, just not able to haul that one in. So they're going to punt this one away. Here's Joshua Griffith all the way in the back, punts this one. A good punt all the way in the end zone, trying to do the tip drill, and it's not going to get there in time as this one's going to be a touchback. So the Blue Streaks will get this one at the 20-yard line after the drop by Tatis to extend the drive. But still some hope for this Viking squad if they can get a solid 3 and out. As this drive starts at the 20-yard line, they were able to get 2 back-to-back 3 and outs back in the third quarter. Let's see if they can do it once again. They were able to keep outside contained and not allow Dugan to bounce outside. And they need to shut down Jaden Aziz as well, who's well over 500 rushing yards this season after today's game. So here are the Blue Streaks. Ferroni in that tight set, motioning across from left to right. Dugan tossed to his right. Aziz, and blowing it up is Tatis for the Vikings. Tatis able to get in that back end and make something happen. And what better way to make up for the drop than coming on the other side and getting a tackle for loss. So it's a 5-yard loss, 2nd and 15 for the Blue Streaks. Tight wing sets. Ferroni on one side and Mo Warren on the other. As some confusion by the Blue Streaks, and a timeout will be called for Marcus Gardiner and his squad as they take a quick timeout. They take one, we'll take it as well. You're listening to more of Sussex Sports. We'll be back after these few short messages.
Designed to be fast. Up to 300 times faster than cable, and up to 500 times faster than DSL. As fast as 10,000 megabits per second up and down, if you speak nerd. We're talking cheetah, bullet train, lightning strike, hummingbird, race car kind of fast. Planet Networks. So fast, it's worth the wait.
I was born fast. Parisi made me faster.
I thought I could jump. Parisi brought me to new heights.
I wasn't always quick. Parisi made me lightning fast.
Strength was never my strength. Parisi changed all that.
Back here on More Sussex Sports as Dugan tries to take this one to the outside, but covered well by the Vikings. And it's going to be a minimal gain, which is going to make this a 3rd and long. Nigro on the tackle, one of those seniors that was introduced at halftime. So a 1-yard loss on the carry from Dugan. It now makes this a very long 3rd down. So now, if you're a Gardiner, you have a double-digit lead. You don't want to make any mistakes. Trips to the right. Dugan takes the snap. He rolls to his right. Pump fakes. Goes deep. Wobbly ball in the air and then batted down. Great defense that time by Mason Jobs, who's asking for a flag in offensive pass interference. And hopping off the field for the moment is their deep guy in Mo Warren, someone that head coach Marcus Gardiner said he loves to use going over the top. But he hobbles off for the brief moment. Hope everything's okay with Mo Warren. came into this game with 6 catches, 129 yards, and a touchdown. And for the Vikings, this has to be good news. Not only was that third down, 3 and out, but a penalty will be roughing the passer on the Vikings. So now we'll redo 3rd down. And now it's going to be 4th and short. So that just has to kill this Viking squad as well as this fans. This fan base has to be annoyed with that. So roughing the passer. And I think head coach Gardiner wants the 1st down. They're asking for it, as it was already 3rd and 16. And with that, a 15-yard penalty. So the math almost checks out, and maybe it should have been a 4th and 1, but it's 4th and 2. So here is 4th and 2 for the Blue Streaks. And if you're the Vikings, you have to watch everything up the middle. So they're going to elect to punt it instead. But watch out for the fake, as this one's going to be punted away. A wobbly ball. No one at the back end for the Vikings, as this one's going to roll all the way to the 25-yard line, maybe even 26. We'll see where they put it. So 15-yard punt. It pins the Vikings back in their own territory, where Gardiner didn't want to have give the Vikings an opportunity to be in their own territory if anything didn't go successful or the way they planned it. But we'll start this drive. 9:42 left to go. Simone takes a snap, looks downfield, has no one. He's going to throw this one short, but he's going to throw it in the vicinity of Joey Cicatelli, but he's nowhere near, as this one's going to be incomplete pass, and brings up now 2nd and 10 on the 38. Some fans at home watching the Mets game might be a little disappointed, as they're losing to the Padres 3-0. But that's a discussion for another day. Myself, I'm a Yankees fan, so I have nothing to worry about. But here are the Vikings. Trips to the left, one receiver to the right. Tatis to his right as well. Simone looks left, throws left, has Cicatelli. Rather than that be Mason Joust, as got a considerable amount of gain on that catch. So now it makes this a 3rd and manageable for the Vikings, with 9:15 and counting left to go in this 4th quarter here on senior night in Par Hills, New Jersey. So now it makes this a 3rd and short, 3rd and 1. And then you got to wonder if they go to Tatis here just to get the 1st down. Instead, they're going to take the snap. They're going to look left. He's going to throw left. This one's going to be short. And looking in that direction, he had his receiver, but he just couldn't get it to him on the sideline on time and accurate. Over there was Yana Lewis Musto. Haven't been able to connect with him all night. He's had 2 balls thrown his way. And here now is 4th and short, and you got to wonder if they're going to put this in the hands of Tatis just to get the 1st down. They do. Handoff to him. He goes right up the middle to get the 1st down to continue this drive. Tatis needed 1, and he got 3. So now it's a Vikings 1st down, 1st and 10, 8:45, and still counting. Tatis, who had an opportunity on the last drive to continue the drive, but dropped it on the near side sideline. Trips right, 2 receivers to the left, Simone by himself in the backfield. Takes the snap, looks left, throws, has a man. That's Joust. Joust makes almost 1 defender miss, but it's going to be a 5-yard gain. So again, the conversation has been, as we talked about throughout the broadcast, rather, the Vikings have been able to move the football. They just haven't had points come out of it sometimes. And again, they only took one 4th down conversion. It was unsuccessful earlier in the first half. Ceremonies looks right, has this one beat. Tatis by himself, and he almost had it. It was in his hands, but at the last second, batted away from the defender in the blue streaks. And TJ Kachala, he came over to just bat it out of his hands. Tatis with 2 drops on the same side of the field on his home side. Ceremonies was able to fake out defenders that took the bubble route on the flat, but then had Tatis on the deep route, dropping it in right in between 2 defenders, and now makes this a 3rd and short. 3 receivers to his right. Takes the snap. Down the middle, has a man in, can't come down with it, as it was Mason Joust. Rather, that'll be Cicatelli. He went to his number 1 guy, but just couldn't get it in his hands. Again, Ceremonies with 2 great back-to-back throws in between defenders. Just the receivers weren't able to come down with the catch. Granted, it was a tight throw, just not able to get it down. And with that, now makes this a 4th and 4. Before, it was a 4th and short. You can just hand it off to Tatis. Not sure if you can do the same thing here. They come out in the same formation. Trips right. Cicatelli in that slot nearest to Ceremonies. Receiver to the left. Tatis to the left as well. Ceremonies looks right, throws right, has a man. Cicatelli, and then he makes up for his drop as he got the 1st down and more. They needed 4. And they got 8. So 1st down and 10 now at the 45-yard line. Rather, they're going to put this right on the 45-yard line, yes. 2 receivers to the right in the shotgun formation, or rather pistol formation is Ceremonies. They're going to hand it off to Tatis. Tatis takes this one up in between the tackles and then just gang tackled by the Blue Streaks front set. The Vikings aren't in a rush, really, but for a team that's had the advantage in time of possession in this game in Warren Hills, it just has to be at the back of the mind of the Vikings. Ceremonies takes a snap, rolls to his right, throws right, on the comeback route with the toe drag swag, able to get the 1st down and more is Mason Joust. Great concentration that time by Joust to set the feet for plan A and then make the catch for plan B. And good for the Vikings, able to get out of bounds as well. Stops the clock at 6:44. Still trailed this one by 13 on the 33-yard line in Blue Streaks territory. In the shotgun is Ceremonies once again. Ceremonies takes a snap, rolls to his left, has a man, double move. They have Ceremonies, rather Cicatelli on the back end of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown, Vikings! Cicatelli again. He's unguardable. Cicatelli with now 4 touchdowns in this game. Joshua Griffith puts it in for the extra point, and we have a ball game, folks. It was 20-0 at one point, and the Vikings come back. They score on their first 2 possessions on the and coming into the second half, and they score once again to make this a 1-score lead. 34-28 is your score. Vikings trying to make a comeback. We'll be right back here on Morris Sussex Sports.
At Madison Tire and Auto Repair LLC, our philosophy is the customer is number one. We offer a variety of products and automotive services to enhance your vehicle's performance. Our mission is simple. We never promise more than we can deliver, and we always give the customer.
If you enjoyed this broadcast and want your game broadcasted with professional telecasts like this, reach out to George at MorrisSussexSports.com, and we'll get your next game in any sport on the air. And even though we are called Morris Sussex Sports, we're always happy to come to your county to broadcast your next game. And what a game we have here, but not the start you want to get on defense, as this one was kicked out of bounds by Joshua Griffith. But for the Vikings, again, giving you a quick simulation of how this game went. Vikings, if you're just tuning in, we're down 20-0, no exaggeration. We're able to make some scores. Joseph Cicatelli has 4 touchdowns in this game, folks. He came into this one with 4 on the season. He now has 8 in total on his season. Just a phenomenal game by him, and a game plan from Dave Albano, just trying to get his guy involved. A lot of guys have had to step up, and Cicatelli is definitely one of them. So now here are the Blue Streaks trying to just keep this lead with 6:35 left to go in this game. Tight sets, pistol formation. They hand off to Aziz. Aziz, who's been quiet all in the second half. He got 11 on that carry, and that's the way you want to start if you're Aziz, who's been pretty much shut down this entire second half. Aziz, who was able to walk in for an untouched touchdown, which made this 34-28. He now gets his first carry in this second half. Well, rather on this possession. Here they are once again. They hand it off to Aziz. Aziz attacks that right side, just churning down defenders. Before he got a gain of 11, this one he may have gotten a gain of 9. And if you're Marcus Gardiner, you see the lead has dwindled right in front of your eyes. You have to get right back to your bread and butter of football and just run this football if you've done well all night. Handing off to your quarterback and Luke Dugan, as well as Jaden Aziz. So he got 9 on the carry on the 44-yard line in Vikings territory, 2nd and 1. Vikings have to stack up that box. This time they do it well, only a short gain. He may have gotten only 2, but it's enough for the first down. So Aziz, again, coming into this game, 439 yards, 5 touchdowns on the season. Also does a little bit of the stuff on the receiving end. Can catch the ball as well. Hasn't done a lot today. But they are able to get the yards they need. 43-yard line in Vikings territory. First down, 10 to go. Vikings need a stop here. And the Blue Streaks are just running it up the Vikings' throats as they go to the same play. Tatis, rather Aziz once again. And he goes ahead for maybe 4 yards. And it's going to be a timeout taken by head coach Dave Albano. He's seen enough. 3 straight plays, and they're the same as a tight pistol set going to the strong side of that offensive line. And again, we talked about in the broadcast, in the beginning of this game, they started to run that ball to the left side, and then they switched it entirely going to now the right side of the offensive line. Usually most teams would like to go to your right side if you're trying to run the football. So it was a 4-yard gain, makes it 2nd and 6, 4:47 left to go. And we haven't seen any field goal attempts by the Blue Streaks. So we might, if the Vikings are able to make this, a 4th and 4, or just at least get themselves in a position for a 4th down, you make it harder on the decision on the head coach for Warren Hills. Do I go for it or do I kick the field goal? So for Dave Albano, both of these two teams, again, coming into this game 2 and 3, trying to get back to 500. Warren Hills coming off of a 42-7 ball game, 42-7 win against Morris Hills. And for Parsippany Troy Hills, they lose a heartbreaker at Chatham, 14-13, missed extra point by Joshua Griffith, and also a missed game-winning field goal, as this one's going to be taken by Dugan, but he's going to be stood up by that defense. The first one to get there was Giovanni Collins. He stood him up. So now this makes this a 3rd and medium and 3rd and manageable. So 3rd and 4, and head coach Dave Albano takes his second timeout. Only one more remaining. And some would say this possibly could be the ball game. If they're not able to get the stop here, head coach Marcus Gardiner could possibly just run this one out. He spoke to us earlier this week and said he loves to control the clock. Well, he's done that and more today. He's put up 34 points, has the time of possession in his favor, and he's looking for that 2-game winning streak. But the Vikings have an opportunity right here to get the stop. And as we mentioned, haven't kicked the field goal today, the Blue Streaks have. So if you're able to stop the Blue Streaks here, if you're the Vikings, you're going to make it a head scratcher for head coach Marcus Gardiner. Here we are. In the I formation for the first time? No, they changed the play. They're going to split out wide. For the first time, they're going to bring Aziz to the left side. 2 receivers to the left, 2 receivers to the right. Dugan by himself. Vikings have to watch in the middle, and a timeout is being called by the Blue Streaks, and that's something coaches love to do. They'll just come out in the original set. They like to see what the defense is set up in. And I don't think head coach Marcus Gardiner liked what he saw from the defense. He wanted to see more likely if it was man or zone. And the way the players moved, they looked to be man. So they split out wide Jaden Aziz, who for the first time tonight we've seen in that slot position. All night he's been in the pistol formation behind Dugan. So timeout taken by the Blue Streaks as they wanted to talk it over just to see what the Vikings came out in their defensive front. So each team has used a timeout, and now we must run a play. 4:39 left to go. Blue Streaks lead this one by a score. Aziz in the backfield, coming out in that same pistol strong set. Motion going from left to right. They go to the right side. Aziz gets the call, and this will be for a first down. We'll wait for the call for the officials, but it looked to be Aziz did get the first down. They're going to move the chains. So Aziz needed 4, and he got more. So he got 5 yards on the carry. So 4:11 left to go in this game. Clock still going. And the Blue Streaks aren't going to waste any time as head coach Dave Albano only has 1 timeout left to spare. As this one's taken by Aziz as he's wrestled down and swung down by this Par Hills defense. As a timeout will be taken, the last one will be taken by Dave Albano. So that'll be it for Par Hills on their timeouts, as they have to rely on their defense to get a stop. 3:52 left to go on this game. If you're just joining us, let's take you briefly how this game came to be. Vikings were trailing in this one early, 20-0, able to get a score by Joseph Cicatelli, one of his 4 touchdowns today, MVP of the game for me. Then the Blue Streaks were able to go down and score once again off of a rollout from Dugan. Not able to keep the contain were the Vikings. Then the Vikings come back and score right before halftime. Then coming into the second half, Vikings got the ball back, able to score off of the Joseph Cicatelli deep ball, deep shot, able to get a 3-and-out. Then they score once again off of the double move to Cicatelli, going up the sideline, and now makes it a one-score game. Here is Aziz again. He gets the carry, being tackled from behind from multiple Vikings. It was 2nd and 8, and on that carry, may have gotten 3, as Aziz was slow to get up for a brief moment. So they're going to say it was only a 1-yard gain. So now it makes this a 3rd and 7. 3rd and 7, time still going. Big stop here for the Vikings. Maybe their last chance to do anything. Same formation. Strong wing set, left and right. Handoff, Aziz. Aziz gets the call, and he's going to be stopped short, maybe by 2 yards. Joshua Smith on the tackle for the Vikings, and it's going to be a 4th and 4, 4 yards short. The exact opportunity we were talking about the Vikings need. Now you give a head scratcher to head coach Marcus Gardiner. Do you kick the field goal to seal this game? Do you trust your kicker enough? And Evan Matthew, who's now 9 for 10 when it comes to extra points, but came into this game 9 for 10 for extra points, but came into this game 7 for 7 on the season, but hasn't kicked a field goal. So with no field goals on the season from the receiver / kicker, you got to give up something. So they're going to take a timeout, the Blue Streaks will, and talk this over with 2:14 as they try to get this one all the way to the final second on the play clock. So now 2:14 left to go in this game, and you make it a head scratcher. What do? Your kicker has not kicked a field goal all season. He's done well with extra points. Do you go for it to seal the deal, or do you kick it to seal the deal? So a lot of different opinions in this booth. They say go for it. I believe also go for it. But you're also coming off of a win. But you're also trying to get back to 500. I wish we had a live chat. We could just hear what maybe the audience has to say. 3rd and 4, 2:14 left to go in this game. But more likely, 4th and 4, 4th and 4. They're going to go for this, more likely. And this, ladies and gentlemen, with no exaggeration, is the game here on senior night. Will the Vikings get a stop? Their main guy has been 2 guys, Dugan or Aziz. Who gets the call? Here's the game. Vikings stack the box. Dugan gets the call, goes to the right side. Will he get it? Is he at the marker? Vikings say they stop it, and the Vikings get the stop, and they have an opportunity to tie the game. A solid stop by the Vikings on the defensive end. It only ran down 4 seconds, and we have a ball game. The Vikings have an opportunity. They're going to have to start this comeback at the 25-yard line. And again, with no exaggeration, we're in the 2-minute drill. 2:09 left to go. 34-28 is your score. We'll talk about going for the win or tying it up after they get the score. But here it is. 2-minute drill begins. One receiver to the left. Tatis to the left. Trips right. Simone looks right, throws right, finds it in the corner. That's Cicatelli. Who else would it be? He gets away from multiple defenders. He can take this one up the sideline. He's going to juke back into the defense. He's going to go to the right. He's going to the left. Can he go all the way? He's at the 5. He's in. One play, 70 yards. Joey Cicatelli. We're going to take a replay on this incredible 5 touchdowns on the game. Sigatelli going from east to west and takes this one all the way into the end zone, showing you his best. But will this be called back? Oh, this has to be a killer. Referees will give the heartbreaking call now. Block in the back for the Vikings as they take away the 70-play score. The 70-yard play score is going to be called back on a block in the back for the Vikings. Joey Sigatelli had his 5th touchdown on the game. That has to be a heartbreaker. Joey Sigatelli, the junior, punting the team on his back on that last possession. So they negate the touchdown, but they give the yardage. This one, Simone on the jailbreak screen, goes to Tatis. Tatis takes this one upfield and came up and hit from behind. Got hit from behind from the Blue Streaks. On the tackle was Dylan During. In the 2-minute drill are the Vikings. Joey Sigatelli had his 5th touchdown stripped away from him from a flag. Trips to the left, Joey Sigatelli in that slot to the right. 2 receivers to the right, Mason Joust on the far side on the bottom of your screen. Simone takes a snap, looks in the middle, and this one comes up short. And probably the best, because if he put a little bit more zing on that, it probably would have been an interception. So 3rd and 3, 1:11 left to go. No timeouts to remind the audience for the Vikings. 3rd and 3 on the 48-yard line on the side of the Vikings. 2 receivers to the right, trips left. Simone by himself takes a snap, looks right, throws right, has Sigatelli. Sigatelli got the first down and more. About a 17-yard reception. Clock still going, 1:05 in ticking. Sigatelli, the man has been unbelievable. Trips to the left. Simone by himself with receivers to the right. Throws left. Has a receiver. First of the night as he was trying to get out of bounds, but this Blue Streaks defense is going to bring him all the way out of bounds on the far sideline. First catch today by Joshua Smith. Joshua Smith, the junior, 5'7", standing at 120, able to hold his weight for a brief moment. 40 seconds left to go in this game. And we'll see if the referees will continue with this clock, and they will. 40 seconds and counting. Simone by himself once again. Receivers to the left, 2 to the left, trips to the right. By himself, takes the shotgun snap, looks right, throws right, and this one almost intercepted, but goes off the hands of Tatis. And he's lucky this wasn't a chip drill, and it could have sealed the game. 30 seconds exactly left to go in this game here on senior night. The crowd is nervous. The booth is nervous. This game was a play away from Joey Sigatelli taking it for his 5th touchdown to tie the game, possibly even take the win. But now they're hoping for a 2-minute drill comeback. This is what you practice all week for situations like these. Blue Streaks playing safety. 2 safeties, rather 3. Simone by himself. Tatis to his right. Receivers to his, two receivers to his right. He throws. And this one almost caught by Sigatelli. Just not enough to get under it. Second and 10, 25 seconds left to go. Each play is about a 4 or 5 second runoff. So if it's going to be rather 3rd and 10, so if it's going to be a play to get some yardage, it has to be a quick decision to the outside to get to the sticks to at least maybe give yourself one more shot, unless this is the shot play right here. 3rd and 10, Simone in the shotgun, receivers to his left and to his right.
Two on each side. Ceremonies goes right, throws right, has a man, not able to get out of bounds though. Caught by Louis Musto, and 15 and counting, rather 17 seconds and counting. Have to go, have to make a play here. This may be it. He's looking over to his head coach. This may be the final play. 10 seconds and still going. He's in the shotgun, 5 seconds. This is the last play. He's gonna look left. He has to take the shot. Is he gonna be sacked for the final play of the game? He gives it to Tatis. Tatis has no chance. He looks back at the clock, but he doesn't have any more time. And that will be the ball game. Tatis looked back at the clock but didn't know it was the final play of the game. And the Vikings lose a heartbreaker. Blue Streaks storm the field as they know time expired, and Tatis, not aware of the situation, runs out of bounds, was hoping for one more play. It was a great effort for Ceremonies to stay in the pocket to get it off to his running back, but just not enough time.
Par Hills and Warren
was
Hills.
Not able to get the playoff in enough time. Final score in this one, heartbreaker by the Vikings as they now lose 2 in a row. 2 absolute heartbreakers. One by 1 point last week against Chatham, 14-13, and this one by a final score. Not able to get it into the end zone with Joey Cicatelli's 5th touchdown being called back off of a push-in-the-back flag. Final score from Parsippany Troy Hills, 34-28 here on senior night. You've been listening to more of Sussex Sports. Thank you for tuning in. Bounces one all the way to the outside. All the way to the outside. It's Tatis. Tatis. Brother Evan Matthew is going to be all the way down inside the 10-yard line. Oh, gives it to his running back and Aziz. Aziz just churns his way all the way in, and now it's a 26-0 ball game here in Par Hills, New Jersey. Defense, and now here is Ceremonies. Ceremonies targeting his receiver to go deep. They have Cicatelli wide open in the back, and he's going to take this one all the way into the end zone. No one can get him. Touchdown! This one's going to be a short, quick, and recovered by the Vikings. The Vikings are going to take this all the way back into Sparks territory. Dave Albano with a risky call. Gets the motion handoff to Aziz. Aziz gets this one into the second territory, and he's going to be ran out of bounds after a 15-yard gain. And Aziz, who's been the absolute workhorse for this team, we're going to do a tight pistol formation handoff to the right side for Aziz. Aziz is going to follow his blockers and walk right into the end zone for another Blue Streak score. To make that tackle, that last carry is by Cicatelli. Not Joust. This one's going to be an end zone all the way to the back of it, and it's going to be called Joey Cicatelli. On the peak and the scramble. Ceremonies backs up, looks deep, has Cicatelli by himself, caught on the sideline, and he's going to walk in for another Viking. He's waiting for things to develop. He has someone in the flat, and there it is, the man Cicatelli. Cicatelli makes 2 defenders miss, going back into the middle of the defense, extending all the way, and he gets to now the 41-yard. In this shotgun is Ceremonies once again. Ceremonies takes a snap, rolls to his left, has a man, double move. They have Ceremonies, brother Cicatelli on the back end of the end zone, and it's caught. Touchdown! He's going to juke back into the defense. He's going to go to the right. He's going to the left. Can he go all the way? He's at the 5. He's in. One play. 70. Welcome back here to more of Sussex Sports. With me as your host, Lloyd Wilson. Thank you all for tuning in behind the controls and doing an absolutely fantastic job. It was Jack Alvarez on our production outside, was Aaron McAnany on the camera. Thank you all for tuning in for the Warren Hills Blue Streaks. They go back up to 500 now, extend their winning streak to now 2. Next game
will be at Montville at 7 p.m. Montville is not undefeated, rather had to check myself from the beginning of the broadcast. They are 4-2. We'll have to double-check the record going into next week now. And then for Parsippany Troy Hills, they now fall to 2-4. Next game will be at Morris Hills after 2 back-to-back heartbreaking losses, but they'll try to get revenge against Morris Hills, who they lost to in week 2, 37-21. For myself, Lloyd Wilson, Jack Alvarez on the controls on our production side, and outside Eric McAnany on the camera, we say goodnight. Thank you for tuning in to another Morris Sussex Sports production. Outside, all the way to the outside. It's Tatis. Tatis